It's Trey Styles on the beat.
What's up? What's up? What's up, you guys? Welcome back here, week 7 of the NFL. You guys, just simply sports with me. I'm Kaja. If you are new to this channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I have the homie with me, you guys. We've been here rocking out the past few weeks through NFL season. I have my homie Nadi, aka James. If you don't know, he is here with me, you guys. My fellow
That's hilarious.
huh?
After that's hilarious.
Right? I
Right.
had to push you out there like that. I hate to do it, but I
Yeah.
had to.
Yes.
You guys, another crazy, crazy week. A lot of ups and downs. Detroit just completely just ran over Tampa Bay. Um, poor Baker looked like he was all out of sorts tonight. It just was not a good night for him at all. It just wasn't, and it happens sometimes. What did you think about the game? What did you like? What didn't you like?
Uh, I wasn't surprised by anything I saw. That's the Baker Mayfield I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's the Baker
Okay.
Mayfield I know. So he kind of got back grounded tonight, and because Detroit took advantage. They caused a lot of turnovers tonight,
hmm
and this might have been one of the better defensive performances I've seen from the Detroit Lions in
I
a
agree.
long time.
hmm
So, that defense going along with the offense that they capable of putting up. I mean, when you got Jamil Gibbs running the way he ran tonight, that sets up everything for the Detroit Lions offense, because what the Detroit Lions really like to do is run the ball well and then run play action. They don't do so well when you know they're going to throw. So for Jamil Gibbs to get him that push from the running back position, that opened up everything for the offense.
One thing I appreciate about the Lions is that they're going to always show up and give you a hard-nosed fight, no matter who they're playing. It doesn't matter what quarterback is on the other side, Patrick
Right.
Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, like they show up with no fear, and they're going to give you everything they have. I love their new, just I love the connection with their new defensive coordinator. Like just watching how the interactions on the sideline, like watching him run down the sideline, when they stopped Baker from getting that touchdown towards the end of the game. Dan Campbell, his energy, it just seems really, really infectious. Watching this team, it's contagious. It's like they all have completely bought into like what Dan Campbell is selling, the culture. Like they believe in him, they believe in one another. I really, really like what I'm seeing from this team. I do not trust Jared Goff. I don't. Like after seeing him in the playoffs last season, like the way they went out, I was like, "Whoa, what is going on?" Like I'm not sold on them. I love Jameer Gibbs. I love Amon St. Brown. I love what Laporta adds. I love Dan Campbell as a coach, but I'm just not sold on Jared Goff. I'm just not.
Well, I mean, it's easy to not be sold on him because
hmm
since he's been in Detroit, he hasn't got it done. But you gotta understand, you gotta remember, Jared Goff was the #1 pick in the draft, and Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl with the Rams before he got traded to Detroit. So he's been a winner from college to the NFL. It's just like when we talk about Lamar Jackson or when we talk about Joshua Tyrell Allen.
MVP,
Right.
Joshua Tyrell Allen.
I'm
Thank
saying,
you.
but you believe in Joshua Tyrell Allen.
I think he's a better quarterback.
Yeah, but he hasn't got over the hump.
No, he
And
hasn't.
and that's what the same with Jared Goff. He's in the same line with those guys. He just haven't got over the hump yet. But you look at regular season numbers, he's been outstanding.
You put him in the same tier as Lamar Jackson and Joshua Tyrell Allen?
I have to, because he puts up great numbers in the regular season. It just same with them. He hasn't got over the hump. Now, I won't put him right in that tier because he hasn't won an MVP. But
hmm
if you look at just last year, I think he was third in the MVP vote, third or fourth in the
He
MVP
wasn't a
vote.
conversation, yeah.
So he's right up there with those guys. It's just
Mhm.
about and a lot of people last year picked Detroit to go to the Super Bowl. And you got people this year saying, okay, this is the year for Detroit. So again, with Jared Goff, it's about can he finally get over the hump?
Mhm.
And it's to be determined.
I think the people he has around him, I think if you gave Josh Allen the amount of weapons that Jared Goff has, it would be a different story for him. Like in Buffalo, like he does have James Cook, Keon Coleman. He's young, he's new, he's learning, but they don't really have like a bona fide number one. Stephon was there, obviously, but to me, I think as talented as Stephon is, to me, he just felt like he was selfish, like he wanted all about him. And that kind of hindered, I think, the offense as a whole, because they want to make sure that he got his touches, his catches, and things of that nature. He got his stats and so on and so forth. So the offense to me moves more cohesively now without him there, but they
Right.
still need when James Cook, that's always the go-to, right? James Cook. And I mean,
Yes,
let him
yes.
cook, right?
Let
But
him cook.
when James Cook can't get going, then who you got? But they need somebody else there to me. I was hoping that Tyreek Hill was going to find his
Well,
way there at some point this season prior to him getting hurt, but it wasn't in the football gods, this
no,
season.
it's
But
not in the cards when you paying your quarterback with
mhm,
Josh Allen is getting, when you paying your quarterback with Lamar Jackson is getting.
mhm,
Jared Goff doesn't make quite that much, which affords them the opportunity to
mhm,
put those weapons around them. And a lot of those guys that Detroit have, they drafted them all and they're young guys. So they're not really on their, like Laporta hasn't got paid yet.
mhm,
Amon-Ra got paid, and James Williams, I think he got a little check, but
mhm.
no, you're not paying Jared Goff an enormous amount of money to
No.
where you can't put the weapons that he needs around him.
Mhm.
So that's the difference.
My thing is if you took Jared Goff and you put him, let's say, in Buffalo with not as many weapons as he has at his disposal right now, his arsenal, would he still look the same? I don't think he would. I
Well,
don't.
well, you can say that about a lot of guys. We saw Pat Mahomes when he didn't have guys around him. He
But
he
we
looked like
saw
an average quarterback.
but the level of talent though that Patrick Mahomes has as an individual to me, like supersedes Jared Goff. Now I like Jared Goff as a person. Like don't get me wrong.
No,
Like watching him on that Netflix show, I was like, oh, he's like a nice guy, nice, beautiful wife, fiance. I'm not sure what it is,
right.
but I'm just like, he's giving
No,
me more system, like more pieces around him. Great coaching, obviously, a lot of weapons, but like I said, I'm not sold on him. I'm not. I guess
I,
time will tell, obviously, but I'm like,
right. I feel you on that. I'm just saying, every good quarterback is a system quarterback. So
I think
I
there are
don't.
some that you can put in other places and they would still be successful. And there are some I think need to be in certain places to be successful. Like right now, like Texans is on. I don't know if you have it on your TV right now. Texans are
Yeah.
playing the Seahawks, right? And
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of conversation about Sam, right? Like Sam obviously being in Minnesota, and with Kevin, like, okay, that's probably why he revived his career, so on and so forth. Will he be
Correct.
successful outside of that offense, the whole different system? And right
Right.
now he's proven to be, thus far. Fingers crossed for him. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. But right now, he looks pretty good, like in the whole different coaches and everything. So maybe, like I said, there are some people I feel like you can move around and they'll still find success. And for some, it's like, whoa, he needs to be with Kyle Shanahan, for example.
Well, there's more than one great system. Sam Darnold is a great example. He was with Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota, who
Hmm.
has a great system. We're even seeing Carson Wentz look like he's revived his career. He's just throwing 300 yards every damn game, it seems
Hmm.
like. And then, but you go and you put Sam Darnold in the Mike McDonald offense in Seattle. And remember Geno Smith last year in Seattle with this same offense. Geno Smith looked like a top 10 quarterback. And now
I don't think so.
I'm saying his last year in
Hmm.
Seattle, they were pretty good. Gino put up good numbers. Go back and look at those numbers.
To
That's
me,
why
to me, he was.
that's why they decided to pay Gino after the trade. They were like, okay, he's earned a contract. But
Hmm.
now you look at Gino in this new offense that the Raiders have,
Yeah, let's
and
not go there.
he looks like the worst quarterback in the league
Let's not
outside
go
of
there.
Justin Fields.
Oh wow. Okay, you just throwing shots out all the way, just daggers. Oh my
I
goodness.
mean, it's the
Hold on, I
truth.
want to read this comment. Uh, God saw beginnings and those ends. I'm definitely so because someone said the Aces could not sweep WNBA champion. Lions go to the Super Bowl. I did say that. Thank you for bringing that up. I did not see the Aces completely sweeping the Mercury. I will admit that. That was just unacceptable, but a whole other conversation for a different day. But you're
Right.
right. You are right. So maybe you're on to something.
Shout out to him, and shout out to Mad Knox, Poetic Sins, just some people from the Built for This Radio Network who
Ah,
in the
okay,
house. I
okay.
see them in the chat.
I
So yeah,
do,
shout out
yeah.
to y'all.
Oh man.
Tony Williams, yeah.
Um, but yeah, on the flip side of it, Baker Mayfield's been cooking. Like the past few games. I mean, he's been showing up, especially big, like in those fourth quarters with those game-winning plays. At some point, I figured he was gonna obviously, not have a good game because nobody just has a great game every single week. This is the NFL. You know what I mean? It's a week-to-week league. But I like Baker. He's kind of growing on me. At first, I was like Baker Schmaker. I don't really care. But I have to admit, I love his tenacity. I love the personality. Like he's really growing on me. I really feel bad for Mike. I'm just like, wow, like broken collarbone. Like, so he's done for the season, I would imagine. I don't see him coming back anytime soon. Like, I don't see how that's
Right.
gonna heal and then be back in time. Like for playoffs and everything. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Like I said, fingers crossed, but I don't see it. What you think?
I mean,
How
we'll
far
have
do you
to.
think the Baker Mayfield can lead this Bucks team now, especially with one of his major weapons like gone?
I told you Baker Mayfield is who I thought he was.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he can get the Tampa Bay to 9 or 10 wins
And that's it.
and a first round exit.
You don't see. You don't think he can go past that?
He's not that good. He's
Mhm.
okay. He's the prototypical average quarterback. Now he got a lot of moxie. He got a
He
lot of
does.
grit. He
A lot of chutzpah.
what they call the white boys that got attitude. He's feisty.
I'm done.
Yeah, but I mean,
He's feisty. Okay.
he's Baker Mayfield.
Uh-huh.
Nothing more, nothing less.
You don't believe?
He's a gamer. I give him that.
Do you think he should be in the MVP conversation, even with this game tonight?
If they would have won, I have to factor in this game tonight.
Mm-hmm.
This game tonight, to me, pushes him back.
Okay.
If he would have pulled this one off, I would have been like, yeah, Baker Mayfield is definitely in the MVP conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
based on the performance that he had tonight, I can't put him up in there because I know who Baker Mayfield is.
Mm-hmm. Oh dang. Oh dang. He said, I know. Hold on. Gospel beginning those. By the way, I didn't get notification. I truly appreciate enjoying the NFL coverage. You got to hit that notifications on button. Like when you go to the channels, you got to
Right.
hit notifications on.
Do you remember the name?
Just Simply Sports with College. I mean, Nadi here has like 5 pages going on right now. So just go ahead and subscribe to them all so you don't miss any of the content. I only have my one page.
Right.
I'm a little bit more humble. Like I don't have as much going on as he does. But you got to go to the page, and once you hit subscribe, it should give you an option like for notifications. You can hit the on button, and every time like we go live or post something, it should pop up for you. So, you want to say something? What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
No, I was agreeing with you. Yeah, make sure you follow everything. I mean, you already with Just Simply Sports, which is a great channel. Also, I'm at One Man Cave, built for this radio network. If you like a lot of good music, we got some great DJs built for this radio network and other shows as well. And in the game network, where you can pretty much find everything that I have on One Man Cave. So
we're gonna move along, you guys, because this was like crazy. I wasn't like really watching this game. I just knew for sure. I was like, you know what? The Broncos they're gonna put that spanking on Jackson Dart, right? He's a rookie. That defense is gonna show up. They're gonna make it really hard for him. This is gonna be just a blowout. And then I said, wait, Giants got the lead. Okay. It's okay. It's so fine. Denver's gonna catch up. Don't worry about it. And then they got a touchdown. And it was still 0. And I was like, oh man. Like, wait, what's going on? What's happening? What's happening? And then I'm like, okay, no, this game is over. Giants got it. And then I go back and I'm like, wait, what the heck happened? How do you collapse like that? How do you have 26-8 with about 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter? And how the heck does Bo Nix go on this epic just run and lead them back to 33? They were at 8. The game was over. Like, who do you blame for this loss?
I blame the Giants kicker. I mean, the guy missed 2 extra points. If he makes,
You frozen. I hear you, but I don't see you. Like your mouth is not moving.
yeah, I don't know why I'm frozen like that. It doesn't make any sense.
At least you got a smile.
Right. I guess that's a positive thing. I'm not understanding why it's not popping back in. Let me look.
Try to go out and come back in real quick.
Okay, let me see if that'll help.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It must be something with the Wi-Fi. I don't know.
But there you go again.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we was doing. I don't know what happened. It was good for a second.
Yeah, but anyway, let me just say.
There you go. Okay.
If the kicker makes the 2 extra points, which he should make, then they win the game. But other than that, I just think the defense let up in the second half, and with them letting up, Bo Nix was able to get some timely penalties down the field that kept drives alive and also put the Broncos in optimal scoring position, and that pretty much gave them life. But if the field goal kicker can hit an extra point, the Denver Broncos are done. So it just sometimes bad teams find a way to lose.
For me, I get the kicker. Like I always say, you got one job. Like you literally have one job. Your job is to kick. We need you to kick, and that's it. You don't have to do nothing else for us. That's all. Just come in, kick, get the field goal, and then go sit back down and keep your leg warm. You know what I mean? Keep your foot warm. That's it.
Right.
But for the score to be 26-8, and then with 6 minutes and some change left, and then the final score be 33-32, that's more than just a kicker. Like for me, I'm putting this on Brian Daboll. Like, what the heck? You just have to literally manage the clock and manage the game. Like, use your timeouts wisely. Don't put Jackson Dart in positions where he's going to throw the ball to get an intercept. Like that interception was, who are you throwing it to?
Yeah, but that's on the quarterback. That's not on Brian Daboll.
To me, I'm putting that on him more than the quarterback because you know who you have. Like like I said, I like Jackson Dart. I do think that they found their QB, and I always say Russ we trust, but I understand Russ is older. No, I understand what it is, right? And I like Jackson Dart. I think he has a bright future, but he still has a lot to learn. If you really felt like he was ready to start, you would have put him in at the beginning. You wouldn't have started with Russ. You wouldn't have brought in Russ and Jameson. You know what I mean? Like you would just went ahead with Jackson, but you started with Russ and then you put him in because you wanted to keep your job. I get it, but Jackson Dart to me has a lot more growth. His strength is obviously his athleticism and him using his legs to extend plays. But when you can't always do that, what else can you do? And for me, when he threw that ball, I'm just like, why did he throw it there? To me, I don't know if that was a play that Brian Daboll called or Jackson Dart improvised and did his own thing, but I don't like it. What's the saying go? If you're not coaching it, then you're condoning it, right?
Well, I mean, Jackson Dart is a young quarterback. He's going to
He
make some
is.
mistakes, but for the most part, he played an excellent game yesterday. I mean, the comeback. I mean, they went down, and with a minute and some change left, he drove the Giants all the way down the field and scored a touchdown to take the lead to essentially win the game. If the field goal kicker can make an extra point, we have a different story. But he wasn't able to make that extra point, which now it gave the Broncos life. So, I mean, he made a mistake yesterday. He threw the interception. But other than that,
it was the timing of it too. That interception was what changed the game and gave the Broncos life. Like, here we go. Like
it was at a terrible time. But I'm just looking at the game
as a whole,
and he's playing without his best wide receiver. And I mean, I was like yesterday more than anything. I said, okay, the Giants have their franchise quarterback for the next 12 to 15 years. I'm convinced. And I understand the Giants starting rest to start the season because they made him a promise. When they signed him, they made him a promise that he would be the starting quarterback going into the season. And sometimes your word is everything. Just for incoming free agents who you're trying to sign going forward, they want to know that the integrity of the coaching staff. If I tell this man that he's going to start and then I don't start him, that looks bad on my franchise. So I'm okay with them starting Russ, and Russ would still be starting if he had a guy. If they would have beat the Cowboys, Russ would still be starting, in my opinion. But when you start off 0-3 in the fashion that you did in that last game, they had no choice but to go with the young quarterback.
I understand why he did it. I do. I don't necessarily like it all the way. 'Cause, I'm a Russell fan, but I understand it. I'm just gonna read this comment real quick. Um, Guy said, that was politics. The coach wanted Russell. The fan base in front office said Dar. I think the coach, I think he brought him in just obviously as you know, a cover up, so to speak, until Jackson Dart can get in. I think he always wanted Jackson, even before the season began.
Well,
Personally.
when they signed Russ and they signed Jameis Winston, they had no idea they were gonna get Jackson Dart.
I mean, who was it that said? I forgot the guy's name, but they were saying that Brian Daboll knew back in January that Jackson Dart was the guy he was going to go with, and he told the front office about this a while ago that was who they were trying to get. And Jameis Winston, is someone when you talk to Jackson Dart, when you ask him like what quarterbacks he likes, who he looks up to, he named Jameis Winston. You know what I mean? So to me, it was kind of obvious that you were going in that direction. I know some people thought Shador might land there. Maybe Shador did too, because he had like the cleats with the colors on from New York and things like that. But I think it was pretty obvious that that's who Brian wanted. But for me, I think the goal at some point we're always going to see Jackson during the season. I never thought, as much as I love Russ, that he was going to go through a whole season.
Right.
I always thought he had a really, really short leash because of how he looked in previous teams and previous seasons, and because Brian is trying to keep his job above all else. You know what I mean? Self-preservation is at the top of his list right now. He don't want to get fired.
Right. I think Brian Daboll might have wanted Jackson Dart all along, but when you don't take him with your first pick in the draft and you take Abdul Carter, you have no idea that you're going to get Jackson Dart because somebody else could want him and they can take him. Then you have to trade back into the first round in order to get him because you realize towards the end of the first round, okay, if I'm going to get him, I need to trade back up. So he was very fortunate to get his guy that he might have wanted all along. But man, you talking about somebody rolling the dice. He could have very easily not got Jackson Dart. So, it worked out for him. So I'm glad that it worked out.
Do you see the Giants making the playoffs this season? Like, what do you think their ceiling is this first season with Jackson?
Well, they got behind the 8 ball too early. I believe they've lost 5 games already.
Yeah, I think they're 1-5 now, 2-5, something like that.
Right. I just don't see them with the Philadelphia Eagles getting back on track. Now, don't get me wrong. The NFC has some openings now that you do have 7 slots in the playoffs. And Jaden Daniels went down. It's not too bad. I'm thankful it's not too bad, but he might miss another game. You got the Cowboys, who great offense, and we're going to talk about that later, but the defense trash. And then you got the Giants. So if the Giants, I can't believe in the Giants right now. You saw the way they lost yesterday. That just took all the belief that I had them away.
The way things are happening this season, it's like when you think about the predictions you had coming into this season, as a fan and who you thought would be where and the records that would be happening right now, and you're looking like, whoa, like it's not, everything just changes so fast, especially with the injuries. One injury changed the whole course of a whole entire season. So I'm gonna say it's a very unlikely, but I'm not gonna put it past them. Why? Because the new life that Jackson Dart has put into this franchise. Like the team was placed differently for him. Y'all can say what y'all want to say, but that defense did not look the same when Russ was the quarterback. Like at all. It's like he came in with this whole breath of fresh air. The fans are excited. Brian Daboll's excited. He has great energy. Him and Cam, that rookie duo is pretty dope. So I could see it.
Hold on, wait a minute. Now you just told me not 10 minutes ago.
What?
The defense collapsed.
They did.
I mean, Bo Nix is the first quarterback in NFL history that passed for 2 touchdowns and run for 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. If that's a defense rising up to play for a quarterback, They need to not rise up and play for the quarterback. If
I'm
that's
looking at how they've played as a whole since he became the starting QB,
yeah, but
not just like yesterday's game.
they had one good game on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, Brian Daboll has still managed to lose the New Orleans game, and then the way you lost that game yesterday, that was a debacle. I mean, so
It was.
yes, I like
I can't
everything.
defend yesterday. I can't defend
I,
yesterday at all.
I like everything that Jackson Dart is doing.
Mm-hmm.
I like Scat Pat, Scatterboo. I
I liked
like
him in
them,
college. Yeah,
but it's about winning and losing in the league,
true.
and you're not getting it done. So I like the direction that they're going in, but they have a lot of problems to fix in New York, and it might start with the head coach.
You think he's going to be fired at the end of the season? Do you see him keeping his job or being fired?
If they can win 7 games, I believe he'll keep his job.
Okay. If not, anything less, like he's gone.
Anything less, they gonna divorce him and Jackson Dart.
I mean, they seem, honestly speaking, they seem to have a good connection. If I'm in the front office, like I said, depends on how the rest of the season goes. I'm not sure if I would, divorce them just yet. I'm going to read this comments really quickly. Cut the ish, Real Talk Sports. What's up? What's up? What's up? I was in Dallas this weekend. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think the Giants will make the playoffs. I'm not betting like my whole like rent check on it, but I would like, but I do see like the possibility, very, very small possibility, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities.
Well, I just say that you're gonna have 4 division winners, and then you got to look at Seattle and San Francisco. Probably both make the playoffs, and then you got Detroit, which they'll probably win, and Green Bay. They'll probably both make the playoffs. So you really just got one spot left. And so, can they beat out Carolina, the Falcons, Washington? Can they beat out those teams? Can they beat out the Dallas Cowboys? If they can beat out those teams, then yeah, you can get that last spot. But 6 spots are pretty much filled in at this point.
Yeah, we shall see. Hold on. Gospel beginning said, agreed, sir. Knicks never showed that ability at Auburn and Oregon. And then Cut the Ish said, Bo Nix is what a great coach in the shows. Sean Payton, to me, stop it. Stop it. He's all right. He was always talented. Sean Payton gonna tail an offense to him. Sean Payton rides whatever, talented QB he has. I don't think it's him. Honestly, I think it's the QBs that he has. His claim to fame is obviously Drew, and I haven't seen much from him since Drew. So move around, Bo. Not Bo. I'm sorry, Sean. I don't like Sean Payton, y'all, at all. Can't stand him. But what do you think about Sean Payton? Do you think he's a great coach? You like him with Bo?
I'll say this: he's a Super Bowl winning head coach. I'm not a believer of Bo Nix. I never liked him in college.
Oh, you're not a believer at all? Okay.
No, I'm not a believer in Bo Nix, but I have to give Sean Payton credit. The Broncos made the playoffs last year in Bo Nix rookie year. Now, albeit they didn't beat any good teams.
They did. But you got to play the schedule that you're given, like it is what it is.
But
Yeah.
you play the schedule that you're given. And if you look at this season, they've started out pretty good. And the way they came back and beat the Giants, it was impressive. I give them that. I'm not a big fan of Sean Payton or Bo Nix, but winning is winning. And Sean Payton is a winner. So I'll give him that.
So in terms of the win yesterday, would you say that was more on like the Giants, or was that more of the Broncos?
I'm gonna say it's more of the Broncos. They put pressure on the Giants.
Okay.
And that's what you want to do. You don't, as a football fan, and I'm rooting for a team. I don't want my team to give up. I want them to keep fighting until all the zeros on the clock. And that's exactly that's exactly what Denver did. They gave themselves a chance to come back and win the game, and they won the game the same way they lost the game to the Colts earlier this year. And
Indiana
sometimes
Jones.
right, Indiana Jones has been great. So yeah, I mean, I gotta give a credit what credit is due.
Everybody in the chat is saying it was the Broncos. To me, that was more about the Giants. Like, you had control of the entire game pretty much up until like how many minutes were left in the fourth quarter? It wasn't like it was like 12 minutes, 10 minutes. Like, this was pretty much over. You just had to manage the clock and just play smart. I'm like, it's one thing for them to still score, but for them to go from 8 to 33 points in a matter of 6 minutes and some change, like, what the heck did you do? Like, what the heck are you doing? Like, so I got to put that for me. I'm putting that a little bit more on the Giants. I'm here for a team never giving up, though. I will say that. I'm here for the fight always. You should always keep fighting. Hold on, read some of these comments out. Cut the ish. Me neither. I was not a believer in Bo Nix at all. Are you a Bo Nix believer now? God saw beginnings. I'm highly upset because I wanted Russ to receive his get back against Lil Peyton. Russ hasn't gotten his lick back. I think the Steelers, Justin played last season when they beat the Broncos. Russ was obviously, I think he was hurt during that time. And then, he didn't get a chance to actually get his lick back at all. But I can't stand Sean Payton. Can't stand the sight of him.
Sometimes you don't get your lick back. If you're in the fight and you get hit in the jaw and you get knocked out, you don't get a lick back. You just, you sleep. So, that's how I go. Russ not gonna get a lick back. It's unfortunate. It's over with.
I don't like how you said that. You put a lot of, emphasis on that, and I don't appreciate it. I don't think that was necessary. You like, it's over, it's not happening. Like, you said that with, like, I don't know, a little bit of extra bass and everything. Like, that wasn't necessary. Okay, like, all right, like, Russ is a man of faith. Okay, and Russ we trust. So you never know what's gonna happen. All right, you never know. All right, you guys. So we're gonna move along, right? Because you were just talking about this team, and honestly speaking, I like Dak this season. I like what I'm seeing from Dak. Do you see the Cowboys? Because I saw a lot of conversation about this. Like, are the Cowboys the scariest offense in the NFL?
The Cowboys have a great offense. Dak is playing top tier quarterback. No doubt about it at all. The problem is their defense is trash. And with that being said,
and Matt Eberflus still has a job, but continue.
Yeah, they're gonna work with him. Let's see how long Eberflus keeps his job. What I cannot do, and what I will not do, is start to overhype a team after you beat a team that's clearly decimated by injuries.
Like, you got to play a team that you got to play.
You play I understand you play your schedule, but you didn't beat anybody of note. You didn't beat a quality team yesterday where I can say, okay, look at the Cowboys. They just put a whipping on the Detroit Lions. They just put a whipping on the Seattle Seahawks. They just put a whipping on the Buffalo Bills. When you do stuff like that, then I start to take notice. But I can't take notice when the Commanders are without McLaurin, without Deebo Samuels. They got a plethora of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. I really can't put any stock in that. So I'm going to have to wait until they beat a quality team. And then I'll say, you know what, watch out for them Cowboys. But right now, they don't scare me at all.
To me, the defense obviously is not scary. To me, the offense is championship caliber offense. And for me, the thing about the Commanders on the offensive side, like, I get it, right? Jaden got hurt. You miss a lot of your players. I get that. I understand that because it makes a difference. But the defense, that's Dan Quinn's thing, right? Is he not a defensive-minded coach?
He's a defensive-minded coach.
44 points is unacceptable. That's supposed to be your calling card. So if you're not scoring, my thing is they shouldn't be scoring either. Okay, like that, we should have one of those boring games where it's like, I don't know, 10-13 at the end, like kind of vibe. Like 44 points, when you're a defensive minded coach, and this is the team that you used to coach, mind you. Like, you know Dak, you know how he thinks, you know CD, like, you know how he operates. Like, you don't really know Pickens, I get that. But you have a really good idea. So for
Right.
me, 44 points, when this is your thing, I'm like, what's going on there? What we doing?
Well, like you said, Dallas has one of the scariest offenses in the league.
So you do agree.
Unfortunately, yes,
So you do agree.
I agree with that part. Unfortunately, football is offense, defense, and special teams.
Mhm.
We just saw just last season the Cincinnati Bengals have the same type of offense that the Cowboys have right now. Couldn't stop a nosebleed.
Hold on. As much as I like Dak, okay, he is not Swaggy Joe. Like, we not gonna
But
put him in that same
but
conversation, okay?
he's playing on the level of Swaggy Joe did last year. This year, he is playing on that level. Unfortunately for Dak, his defense is also playing on the level of the Bengals defense from a year ago. And so, although I can give Dak all the credit in the world for
Mhm.
playing great, lights out right now, I can give a Dallas Cowboy offense. I mean, you got Pickens, you got CD Lamb,
Mhm.
Ferguson, Javonte Williams. They balling out of control. At the end of the day, it's your defense gonna be able to stop somebody when you need a stop.
That's true.
And to this point, that hasn't necessarily been the case.
It has not. And I agree with you. Like I said, Matt Eberflus to me should never have gotten a job, especially one this fast at all. That's a whole other conversation. No, another coach I don't really like, but it's crazy to me that he still has an opportunity. He should have been done, at least right at home with the rest of us watching these games. But for me, like I said, I could say, okay, they didn't have their weapons and things of that nature. But for me, if you have like a coach that's a offensive minded coach, right? No matter what happens, I feel like your calling card should be the star of the show. If your thing is
Right.
offense, I expect to see a high functioning offense. If your thing is defense, I expect to see a defense that gets stops. 44 points to me, what, what the heck happened? I mean, like, was there a game plan? Like, it didn't look like it just completely fell apart. But speaking specifically about Dak, I have to give Dak credit. I like what I'm seeing. Obviously, we know Dak he's always pretty much good in the regular season. In the playoffs, really, everybody looks at like, wow, here we go again, the same old Dak, same old Cowboys. Before Shoddy, to have his first head coaching, position, everybody was kind of like, why did he hire him? Like, why didn't he keep, Mike or get somebody else who had more experience? I will give Jerry some credit with that. I think Shoddy has done a decent job thus far. I think he has. Like, he has.
No, look, Shotty is another do boy for Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is the coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, we look. Jerry's gonna be Jerry.
Right. Jerry Jones is not
Right.
gonna hire he's not gonna hire a head coach who has ultimate power, ultimate say so.
I get that.
Right. So he always get these the last coach he had that had some power was Bill Parcells. And he ran Bill Parcells out of there. After that, the Chan Galeys, the Wade Phillips, all these other coaches, Schottenheimer. Now, these coaches are just pretty much lackeys. It's not really on them. I can't give Schottenheimer no credit. I'm not gonna give him the blame either. I just understand that as long as he does what Jerry says, as long as he allows Jerry to game plan with him, do the post game interviews, talk to the media, and do all that stuff, he'll be the head coach until they need another scapegoat like Mike McCarthy was to get out of there. Because hell,
For
Mike
him not to
McCarthy,
have a job this season is wild to me. So I'm looking at some of this coaching. I'm like, come on, like somebody should be giving Mike a call.
well, somebody give him a call next year. Sometimes it's good to, once you lose a job, to sit out for a year, see the landscape of the league, and don't just take a bad job. Take a job where you can actually go in and succeed at. Unfortunately, and I hate to get into the race aspect of it, but when you're a white coach, you had the opportunity to do that. Look at Mike Vrabel.
Very true.
When you're a black coach, you have to take whatever's out there. Look at Aaron Glenn. You know what I'm saying? So it's unfortunate, but for Mike McCarthy, if you are able, and well, it's a smart thing to sit out for a year, see what team has young talent coming in that you can build on and put yourself in a good destination, as opposed to taking a bad job.
You freezing a little bit. Uh-oh. You frozen completely.
Yeah, I see my stuff is. I don't know if it's because I got all this stuff. I'm watching the game in front of me,
Okay.
the Seattle game. I got both my phones. Maybe I should turn off some of my Wi-Fi's.
Oh,
Maybe
so
I
your
just got.
Wi-Fi's. Wow. Like maybe you should. That sounds like a
Yeah,
good
let me
idea.
let me turn off a couple of these devices. Hopefully
While you
that'll.
doing that, I'm gonna read we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, hold on, I'm gonna read this comment. Gospel beginnings. Let's be honest, Michael, with the exception of his first 2 years, would not be the difference. Still I rise. Let's go. What's up? Some of you have never seen this chat before. What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome. I appreciate you guys coming through. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't, hit the like button. Subscribe to both channels, to all channels up here, because I have my Just Simply Sports channel. Nadi has all his channels up here at One Man Cave. He has a whole bunch of channels up here. Make sure you subscribe. Super Bowl bound who? Cowboys? Still I rise? Is that who you going with? Super Bowl for the Cowboys?
Can't be.
I don't see you. I hear you, but I don't see you.
Am I not even on the screen? Okay, let me do this.
Your head was like to the side, like frozen, but I could hear you clear.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But you know what? You just brought up, they're talking about it in the chat, Gospel Beginnings. I hate to do this, but we got to talk about it, okay? Because the Jets are winless. I mean, they haven't won a game at all. I'm not even sure if Aaron Glenn can keep his job. I really don't like, and I'm so rooting for him because I feel like you have to give a little bit of grace. When you a brand new head coach first time, you go to an organization that's not good. Like it takes time to turn an organization around. Like you can't do it overnight. And it's been really rough for Aaron Glenn. It really and truly has. But the fact of the matter is, winning is important. Owners want to see wins, and they don't really care. If it's your first year head coach, and your best players are hurt and things of that nature. They want you to win. They have expectations, and usually the expectations are way up here. Sometimes the reality is down here. Do y'all see while Nadi's getting his Wi-Fi together? What do y'all
You
think
can still hear
about?
me though, right?
I can still hear you. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
can't
I
see
just
you.
turned my screen off for a second. Let me. But
What do y'all think about the winless Jets? And keep in mind, Aaron Glenn booted Aaron Rodgers out the door. He was like, "Yeah, we're good. We're gonna go with Justin. Thank you so much for your services."
disrespected Aaron Rodgers. If you heard the story of
I
how
did.
that all went down,
I heard his
it
version
was
of it.
it was very unprofessional. With that being said,
You
I
gonna pop
think
back on?
yeah. I'm gonna pop back on. I just want to make sure my camera was good. Yeah, it's kind of tripping. So I'm gonna think I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Okay, go ahead.
But it's look like it's straightening up right now. No, I'm gonna just go out and come back in.
Okay. God so beginning. You were just talking about. I'm gonna read your comment. I feel bad. I feel bad about Aaron Glenn. He is beginning to look like another Steve Wilkes. Whew, you know, I, the thing is, because he got rid of Aaron Rodgers, right? Say what you want to say. It's looking like he would have been a lot better option than Justin Fields, right? You have Aaron Rodgers' history, what Justin Fields did in Chicago. Steelers, he started out pretty good, but then he got benched for Russ. So the jury was still out on Justin Fields, and I get that he wants to take a chance. And give Justin, the reins to be the starting QB and, his athleticism. And I get the vision that he had for this team. But for him to be so vocal about like laying down, a foundation of discipline and accountability and things like that. And then when you watch the team play, it's like a whole bunch of penalties, like dumb penalties, costly, like silly mistakes. It's like they say if you're not coaching it, you're condoning it. So it's like, what the heck is happening? There you go.
Yep.
There you go. So yeah, I'm just talking about Aaron Glenn. I was just saying, for him to come in the way he did, and very specific and strategic in what he wanted, the culture he wanted to create, discipline, accountability, and all these different things. And then when you watch them play, it's like they don't have any of that. And it's like, and I get that it might be hard to win some games, given who he has, as a starting QB, but I'm just like, man, it's been really, really rough. I just feel bad. I'm just like, I don't see him getting past this season. If they go pretty much the whole season without winning, or they only win like one game, I'm just like, oh, I don't know if he's gonna get a second chance on like another season. What you think?
I thought about it, and as long as they don't go 0-17, I believe they're gonna do him a solid because they have to understand he was walking into a dumpster fire. This was what I was called taking a bad job, but he had to take the job because, like I said, black coaches, you can't really turn down opportunities. So he took the opportunity that was presented to him, but they don't have a quarterback. He had to put something together with Justin Fields. I mean, Pittsburgh was even shaky about signing Justin Fields back. That's how he even became available. I mean,
But they wanted him though, I believe. He said no after what happened with them choosing Russ over him. Is what I saw.
Yeah, that might have been the case. That might. I'm not going to dismiss that as not being the case, but I'm just saying Justin Fields was your option. Tyrod Taylor, I like Tyrod Taylor, but he's a solid backup. Only
I
receiver.
don't even think he's solid, honestly.
Dang. I don't think he's a starter. I mean, don't get me wrong. They threw Tyrod Taylor in the game where the game plan wasn't for him. He's coming off the bench. He's rusty. He's cold. You
He's
do the
cold,
best.
really? Okay.
Right. You do the best you can. But they have one receiver in Garrett Wilson. All these other guys are retreads. The running back, I think he's average. A lot of people put a lot of hype on Breece Hall. Breece Hall is. I've never liked Breece Hall. I was like, he's just another guy to me. He's not a great running back.
He's just
in my
a guy?
opinion.
Is that what you're saying? He's just a guy?
He's just a guy, So in the defense, you got a couple pieces, but you don't have a stout defense. So I just think it's going to take time for the Jets to rebuild. I don't care who they had a head coach this year. I don't think they would be good, but I do think they would be better than 0-7. So I just need Aaron Glenn to win 2 or 3 games, and I think the New York Jets to give him an opportunity to go into next year, and then he'll have a 5-game tryout. As long as you don't start out 0-5, I think he'll be okay.
I don't think so. And like I said, I like Aaron Glenn. I like what he stands for. I really do hope that he gets the chance to run it back next season and get some more talent on his team, get a different QB. Justin Fields, I think, he's athletic. Obviously, he can use his legs, but to me, something's missing. And maybe it's because he's had multiple coaches, and things like that over the past few years. That could be what affected him and his growth. And Aaron Glenn obviously is not a brilliant offensive mind. Maybe if Mike McDaniels gets fired, they can bring him from Miami, let him spend some time with Justin.
Right, yes,
that could be a thing. But I don't know if that's going to be a thing because honestly speaking, they haven't won any games. And that's really the biggest thing. Like, it's one thing to have a really ugly win or two, but to have none at all, I'm like, man.
Right. Well, just think about it. Justin Fields needs to be a part of a system that he can thrive in. You go back to his days in Chicago. No system. They get Caleb Williams. They get rid of the guy who was there when Justin Fields was there because he had no system. Now you got Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams looks a lot different.
He does.
You put Justin Fields in Pittsburgh for 1 year. Now, I'm not a big fan of Arthur Smith, but Arthur Smith has had some success as an offensive coordinator with lesser talented quarterbacks. And Justin Fields, 4-2, started out 4-2 with Pittsburgh under Arthur Smith, who has some sort of system. Now you're moving with the Jets. They don't have an offensive system. You see what's going on up there. The offense looks horrible. So
It does.
maybe if they put some sort of system around Justin Fields that he can thrive in, maybe he can be a solid quarterback. That's why I say all quarterbacks in the NFL are system quarterbacks to some degree. I've never
I
seen a
get that.
quarterback who was good and didn't play under some system. You look at Tom Brady with under Josh McDaniel, Charlie Weiss, O'Brien, all good offensive coordinators that had him in the system. Then he goes to Tampa Bay under Bruce Arians' system. The first 8 games, Tom Brady's like, I don't like it. He's shaky. They go into the bye week. Tom Brady implements some of his old stuff from the New England system into the Tampa Bay system, and they go win a Super Bowl. So even Tom Brady doesn't look good when he's not in the proper system. So every quarterback, to some degree, needs to be a part of a good system.
Well, some people are not a part of the system. They are the system.
Yeah, right.
Like Joshua Tyrell Allen is the system, okay? Patrick Mahomes is the system. Lamar is the system, okay? But no, I was talking to you about this yesterday, and I'm just thinking right now, should Aaron Glenn try to give, or should he be willing to give Eric Bieniemy a call?
No.
What?
No.
It can't look any worse than it does now.
Yes, it can.
No, you can't go worse than winless.
I was talking to some guys earlier, and the guy who I think he should give a call is Byron Leftwich. Okay, go down to Colorado, tell Deion, look, Byron Leftwich is not your offensive coordinator. Brother needs some help in New York. Let Byron Leftwich come up and be the offensive coordinator. Now, I would say, yeah, let's go with that. But
what's wrong with Eric?
Not Eric being, because he hasn't proven to be a good coach on any level. I mean, I'm gonna change that. Eric Bieniemy has shown to be a great running back coach. When he's coaching the running backs, they look at Chicago right now. That's what he is right now. DeAndre Swift is playing some of the best football he's played in his career. I give that credit to Eric Bieniemy.
Okay.
But as an offensive coordinator, hell, Andy Reid wasn't even letting him call plays. He had the job up in Washington, and I know he had Sam Howell as the quarterback. You can only do so much with Sam Howell.
Yeah, exactly. Let's give some grace because he had Sam Howell. Okay, like let's not act like he had one of those ones.
Yeah, it wasn't good, but he did go to UCLA, and he wasn't good at UCLA.
So, well, I mean, right now, Big Bill looks crazy out there in UNC. I mean, let's not even get started with how bad they look. But we still know like who he was in the NFL.
Yeah, but Big Bill is a defensive coach. He had those guys I named earlier, the Mike McDaniels. I mean, the McDaniels and Josh McDaniels, Charlie Weiss, and O'Brien. He had those guys calling offense. Now he got his girlfriend calling offense, and she's on 24 years old. How you gonna win?
Why? Everybody keep bringing up that man's his little young tenderloin. Let him live.
I mean, I'm happy for Bill. Trust me, I'm very happy for Bill. I get it. I
saw him go out there on the beach doing yoga. I said,
but that ain't got nothing.
What's going on?
That ain't got nothing to do with football. But I'm truly happy for Bill. He won. He's winning.
I think she's keeping him young spirited, you know. Gospel Beginning says some black QBs require their black head coach or assistant coach to get in their ear. It's easy to collaborate and flourish with a voice that you know. I can get that. What you think?
Half of the quarterbacks in the NFL are black. There are a lot of black quarterbacks in the league that are thriving with a white guy in their ear. Can you play the position, or can you not play the position at the end of the day?
I think it helps sometimes not everybody, obviously, because everybody's not the same. But to me, sometimes when you have someone that you can connect with, you can understand. Like when you have a coach who's also played in the NFL, I think there's a different level of understanding and a connection, camaraderie that you have with the coach who's been there in your shoes, versus somebody who's never played.
But let me ask you this, and I ask the people in the chat the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
How many black offensive coordinators are in the league? You got a lot of black defensive coordinators because they
Mm-hmm.
believe that we know defense.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, they don't believe that black guys know offense. So how many black offensive coordinators are in the league to even be in the black quarterback's ear?
That's part of the problem.
I can't disagree with you.
That's part of the problem.
But half of the quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks in the league are black.
That's true
So
too.
I mean, that's why I say I would endorse Byron Leftwich, Pepper Johnson. Some of these guys. I mean, Pep Hamilton. Some of these black offensive minds who are not getting the opportunity to coach on this level.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's important, opportunity. Sometimes you gotta bring somebody else along. Otherwise they'll never get an opportunity.
Right.
We'll see what happens. I'm just like I said, even if they win one game, maybe two, depending on how it looks, I don't know. I'm praying that he gets another chance, another year to do things differently and get some more talent, obviously. But I want to see him win. But I don't know. It's looking really really grim, grim, like just darker and darker as the Sundays and Mondays go. And I'm just like, oh man, whew. I didn't want to watch the game. I'm like, I didn't want to watch it. Like, I'll just go back and forth and check the score and see what's going on. So I'm like, my anxiety's all through the roof watching the game. I'm like, oh, Aaron, another penalty. Damn it. What's
Oh,
going
it's
on?
ugly.
What's going on? Hold on, read this last comment before I go on to the subject. I said some, and the ones that are successful are just that good for that moment, and then end up like an imminent Lamar. We spoke about this a little bit in the chat. Well, actually, in the conversation a little while. All right. So, Caleb, a few weeks ago, we spoke about Caleb. You said you were not a believer in Caleb, right? I think he had just won his
Yeah.
first game in
Right.
the NFL, and now they are 4-2. I believe what their record is right now. What are you more so now on Caleb? Do you see him leading the Bears to the playoffs?
No.
Him and Benjamin. Still no?
No,
Is it still the fingernails?
I'm not a believer in Caleb Williams.
Why not? What don't you
I
like that you're seeing from him that makes you say, no, I'm still not sold yet?
don't like nothing I'm seeing from him. I mean, honestly, like,
I think you can't get past the nail polish.
and you might be right about that. You might have something there, but again, I cannot get hyped when you beat New Orleans. I just can't do it. I know what New Orleans is. They're a terrible football team. Spencer Rattler is a worse quarterback than Caleb Williams. I need you to start being some teams of some substance. I said the same thing about Bo Nix. I said I'm not a believer in Bo Nix. Now they didn't beat any worthy teams last year, but they beat who was on their schedule. If the
That's what you
Chicago
gotta do.
Bears beat a lot of mediocre teams that just so happen to be on their schedule, they play some teams when they're all banged up and they're hurt, and they win 9-10 games and they make the playoffs. Just like I did for the Denver Broncos, I'm gonna get them. They do. I'm gonna say Ben Johnson put it together. They won enough games. They made the playoffs. Congratulations. But I don't believe in them. No, I don't believe that they will. They're in the division with Detroit and Green Bay. I think both of those teams are better than Chicago. At some point, you're gonna have to play Detroit. At some point, you're gonna have to play Green Bay, and at some point, you're gonna have to play a Brian Flores Minnesota Vikings defense. If you can get through that gauntlet, I'll be the first one to come back on this show and say, "Kaji, you know what? I got to give Caleb Williams his due, fingernail polish and all."
I have a lot of questions about that Brian Flores defense, honestly speaking, because sometimes I'm like, okay. Other times I'm like, huh? Like, what's going on? So the jury's still out for me on that defense. And honestly speaking, I think it was a big mistake to me to let Sam go. I know that obviously he wet the bed in the playoffs. I know how the season ended, but Like you won 14 games, 14, 15
Mhm.
games in regular season. I know they want to give JJ his shot, but to me, I think they made a mistake. I really, really and truly do. Read this comment. Gospel beginnings. Caleb at OU was that dude. The USC, cut the ish. We bad. I'm a Saints fan. What are you a fan of? What are you a fan of? The Saints look like a hot mess. And I keep thinking every time I see these teams, I'm just like, and these are some of the same teams that passed up on Shador. Some of the teams that passed up on Shador. I'm just like, okay, karma's real. Spin the block. Right?
Every team passed up on Shador at least
Well, the
twice.
teams that needed QBs I'm talking about, or that could have used a
Right.
QB. Like some teams didn't need one, obviously, so you're not going to get him. I
Right.
understand that, but I'm just like, for example, the Saints, I'm just like, you went past your door. Like,
Yeah, well, honestly, if I'm just speaking honestly,
here we go. What? What?
and this is based on what you've been telling me,
What?
we don't know how many teams that Shador told not to draft him.
I don't think he would have
Like
told. I don't think he would have told them no.
like 2 or 3 teams, got leaked and
Mhm.
came out. But now it's like until the whole story is written, I don't know who he told not to draft him.
I could see.
Because it just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense, like to your point, that
Mhm.
a team like Pittsburgh, in my opinion, a team like New Orleans, they need quarterbacks.
Mhm.
And it seemed like Shador would be a great fit to go in one of those organizations. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm kind of glad he's not with New Orleans because they're a dumpster fire, but they still, I think he's better than Spencer Rattler. I want to believe that. It might not be, maybe Spencer Rattler is better, maybe not, but I want to believe that Shador is better than Spencer Rattler.
As you
So
should.
it doesn't make sense to me
Mhm.
other than Shador not wanting to go there or
Um,
something else.
Speaking from the Steelers, I really feel like they had their heart set on Aaron Rodgers. And I think because of Aaron Rodgers, to me, he seems like he's very ego driven. Like, I think if they would have gotten a different quarterback there, someone Shador or Jackson Dart, I think that would have deterred Aaron away. Even if they still wanted him to be the starter and Jackson
Right.
Dart or Shador or Cam to be the backup, I think he would have been like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I want to know, I want to have that security that I'm the main option, I'm the only option, so to speak. You know what I mean? I think so because they had him in mind and they were willing to risk it all, even with him deciding whether or not what he wanted to do in the cave or not in the cave, whatever foolishness was going on this time.
Right.
His secret marriage, whatever he's doing now. I think that's why I said, okay, we're not gonna get a QB. We're gonna just focus on, adding some nice pieces to this team, and we're gonna put all of our cards in Aaron Rodgers' boat, and it worked out for them. As it
Right.
pertains to the Saints, I could be wrong, but I don't see Shador going past the Saints if they did call for him because his biggest thing was getting the opportunity to be a starting QB.
Right.
Like him and Spencer going battling it out. Like I think he would feel he had a better chance of beating him out than Lamar or Jackson or Jalen Hurts because that wasn't going to happen at all. So I understood why he passed up on those two. I really do get it. I know people say, well, it was done. The organization's better, and you got a chance to learn from other better QBs and a better system. I get that, but he's thinking, oh, I want to be a starting QB, or at least have a chance to compete. I think for the Saints, he would have had a chance to compete if they if they wanted to bring him.
Right. I'm looking at the standings right now, and we discussed the Giants earlier.
Mhm.
Would the Giants make the playoffs? And I told you they got 7 slots. Okay, you got 4
Mhm.
division winners.
Mhm.
I didn't even talk about the fact that the Rams are 5-2. Seattle is about to be 5-2 after
Mhm.
they beat the Texans tonight. San Francisco is 5-2.
Mhm.
The Lions are 5-2. Packers 4-1. The Vikings are 3-3. They right there. So yeah, I'm not buying Chicago until they start to beat some of those quality teams that are in their own division, like Green
Mhm.
Bay, Detroit, and Minnesota.
Green Bay to me feels like they're missing something. I know they got Micah and he's like their finisher, and I get that. But to me, like when I watch them play, and I know Jordan Love is talented and all that. Um, it's just to me like it's a piece or two missing from them, being contenders for me. There's too many inconsistencies I see that have me like, I don't know.
Yeah, the inconsistency is coming from the quarterback position, and that's Jordan Love. He has to be better. They have the offensive weapons at the wide. You got a good tight end.
Hmm.
Josh Jacob is running the
Yeah, like
hell
Josh
out the
Jacobs.
foot.
Yeah,
He's running the hell out the football.
that is.
Rashawn Gary, and Michael Parsons and Keeson Nix, they showed up. They showing up. The inconsistency is coming from the quarterback throwing the football. And
The
until
calls coming from in the house.
and until they can get better on, particularly on third downs,
Hmm.
it's always gonna look like something is awry with Green Bay. But they're 4-1-1. So they got time to put it together on the fly, so to say.
We do have some time. Hold on. God's slow beginnings. Rogers is the dude. You talking about in the past? I agree with you there. As of late, no. The best QB probably ever, even in loss to Bengals. I think he used to be that dude. And obviously like he can still throw the football with the best of them. But I think that time has passed, honestly speaking. With the way things are shaping up this season, I could see them win the playoff game this season just because of what's happening with the injuries around them and everything. So that kind of gives them a little bit of an edge up, a leg up. But um I'm not so much concerned about the Steelers their defense, but for me, I'm watching Aaron. Like I said, I think he's older. I don't know. I don't get the dude, but I feel you. Whatever. Are you sold on the Steelers? Do you see them win the not Super Bowl playoff game this season?
Because it's Pittsburgh still, I mean, albeit Joe Flacco diced them up like some fresh tomatoes. The defense is for the most part been playing very well this season.
They have, yeah.
They just got completely healthy. They got everybody back. Chase and T. Higgins, they make a lot of people look really bad. So that's what happened. But Aaron Rodgers understands that he needs to make 2 or 3 throws a game
Hmm.
in order to give the Pittsburgh Steelers a legitimate chance to win games. They're gonna be in every game. They got a shot to win every game. And when you have an opportunity to win every game, the sky's is the limit. I'm not picking them to win the Super Bowl, but I'm not saying that they're not a contender because I do believe that they are a contender to go all the way to the Super Bowl with the defense and a quarterback who understands how to win football games.
I think with the kind of talent, they would have to go against to actually get Super Bowl, I don't see it happening. But like I said, the injuries, obviously, there's a lot of injuries that are, coming up and knocking teams or setting teams back that we didn't expect to see happen, especially for so many weeks. Like, I don't know when Lamar's coming back. I think they say after the bye, he should be back. I'm just not sure if we're going to get a healthy Lamar. And then, their record when he gets back, I'm just like, Joe Burrow comes back. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen there. We'll see how many more games Joe Flacco, can keep winning until Joe's able to come back, assuming he comes back at all this season. But I don't see them win the Super Bowl. I don't. I think in today's game, you have to have a QB that can do both. But I mean throw and run when I say both.
Well, in the preseason, I picked Baltimore to go to the Super Bowl, so that seems to be a long shot at this point. But Mike Tomlin is a hell of a coach, and they have enough. When you got DK Metcalf, you got a pretty solid tight end in Freiermuth, and Washington is a big tight end too. I like him, definitely in the red zone area.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell running the ball really well.
Mm-hmm.
It comes down to me, can a defense hold up? And I believe in TJ Watt and Hayward and all those guys.
Yeah, I believe in the defense.
Those guys have been great. I mean, outside of what we just saw last week, but I think they have enough defense where if Aaron Rodgers can avoid turning the ball over and make those 2 or 3 plays that he has to make a game, then they're going to be in every game. It almost reminds me of the last year that Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl. He was a shell of himself, but he knew how to manage a game. And Von Miller and those guys knew how to shut down the opposing offense. So it can happen. I'm not picking them, but I am pulling for them because that's my AFC team.
Not you riding both sides of the fence.
Well, I like Pittsburgh and I like Philly for obvious reasons.
Read this comment real quick. How much do you want to bet Seahawks 5-3? You really?
Oh, he's saying that Houston gonna pull this game out. No,
that's
that's
I
not
know.
what he's saying. No, he can't be saying that.
Hold on.
It's close though. It's a close game.
It is, yeah. I see right now. 17-12, but still plenty of time. Anything can happen right now. They got plenty of time left. CJ Stroud is letting that Houston lifestyle to impact his play, keep it up, and next year he will be Tua. Damn. Damn. Oh man, you went in. I think Lamar damaged his body by lifting those weights. He was too hesitant and less explosive thus far this year. Do you agree?
Well, when you run as much as Lamar runs, he has to put on some muscle so that he can absorb those hits.
I didn't see no muscle he put on, honestly.
Well, it's more lean muscle. So again, I can't disagree with the chat because he's holding the ball way too long. And it's causing him to get sacks. I mean, I would prefer he just take off. Just go. But maybe at this stage of his career, he is trying to refine his game to be more of a passer than
I see that.
A pure, he's dual threat, but he runs a lot. I mean, even design runs. So maybe he's saying, okay, this year I want to make sure I pass the ball more. I got weapons on the outside. So that's my only thought process behind it. But what do we see? He got a hamstring injury, and those hamstring injuries, they linger. So again, when he comes back, which is probably be in another week or this week coming up, that hamstring is something that's gonna probably even make him more hesitant to run. And so he's really gonna have to rely on his pocket quarterback skill set. And I'm interested to see it because if Lamar Jackson is going to win the Super Bowl, I think that's the way he's going to have to do it. He's going to have to learn how to manage a game. Now, don't get me wrong. If you can get him through the Super Bowl or right on the cusp of it, AFC Championship game, those legs could be very valuable.
True.
That's what we've been saying. Me and you even talked about it. When he gets in those games, sometimes we're like, run, Lamar, go do your thing.
I'm like, run, run.
And he's not doing it. But when it comes down to, winning the big game, I think it would be best if he had all his weapons, meaning himself, to utilize. But if you only have one weapon to utilize, the one that you want to be able to utilize is your passing game because it's very hard to run your way to a championship.
Honestly, with Lamar coming back because, that hamstring lingers, like you said, that's an injury that, you could feel okay, but then not be okay. Like any little tweak, it could send you right back out for, a few more weeks. When he comes back, they're at a very crucial time. Like they must win. Like they have to start winning. Like they really can't afford to lose too many more games. And that kind of pressure, when he uses his legs, that's like his go-to, obviously, and that's like his strong suit, his calling card. I don't like it. I feel like I hope that they come up with some different plays for him that protects him more because of that hamstring injury. Because you're at a point now where I feel like more pressure is going to be on him. Well, he's going to at least feel like he has more pressure on him, because he's been out, because they've been losing. I got to come back. I got to put my cape on, and I got to find a way for us to win games. You know what I mean? I think that's going to be the mindset that he comes back with, and it could be. I understand it, but I feel like it could also place him back on that injured list.
Yeah, he got to come back with a vengeance because I mean, I hate to say it, but the truth is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson had just as many wins this season as Cam Ward, Tua, Dylan Gabriel. Like,
The
come on, man.
Ravens. I'm not gonna put
Come
them on
on.
Lamar
Come on,
because
man.
Lamar
I
is
mean,
hurt.
yeah, but the quarterbacks, they get a stat, a W stat in the
Mm-hmm.
on their stat line in the win column.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to look at that. And he is the starting quarterback for the team. If they win a bunch of games, he get all the credit. So when you lose games, I got to give you some of the blame too. Now he hasn't
Yeah,
been
but
there
he's
for
not
those.
playing though.
Right, he hasn't been there for those
Yeah.
past couple games. But even before he was injured, they won one game. They were looking awful. We talked about it. We was
We
like,
did.
what's going on now? Don't get me wrong. The Buffalo debacle in the first game, I wouldn't put that on him. You know, you had the running back fumble the ball in the fourth quarter, and the defense. I don't know how they allowed Buffalo to score 40 points. I mean,
Because
Tyrell,
Buffalo, they kept fighting. That's how that happened. We're gonna give Buffalo their credit.
Joshua Tyrell Allen was great, but I'm just saying the defense got to play a lot better than what it did because they were up.
Mm-hmm. They were.
Yeah, I'm not putting it all on Lamar. It's a team game, but you are the
Mm-hmm.
quarterback, and even before you went down, you only had one win. So he has to come back with a vengeance because there's no way the Cleveland Browns should be better than you. There's no way that you should have the same amount of wins as Cam Ward. And I mean, Gino got more wins than you right now. So yeah, hopefully he takes that personal and he does what he needs to do because they need to reel off like 4 or 5 straight.
Speaking of Cam Ward, it's been a little rough. I'm just gonna say it like that. It's been just a little bit rough. His rookie season. With hindsight is always 2020, right? With what we know now, what we've seen from him thus far in these first few games, thinking back to when he was drafted number 1 overall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with the decision that he should still have been drafted number 1 overall?
Oh yes, no doubt in my mind.
Really?
When you drafted number 1, you drafted to the worst franchise in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Tennessee was. They're the worst franchise in the league. Now, Mike McCoy, the new interim coach that they have right now, is saying something that I definitely agree with when I watch Cam Ward. I wish he would run more. It's okay to use your legs. You're not the prototypical pocket quarterback. Definitely not at this stage of your career. I mean, you look at Jane Daniels, and I like Jane Daniels. Jane Daniels used his legs last year.
He did.
And made plays when he had to make plays. Cam Ward is coming to this thing like he wants to be a seasoned vet already and work strictly out of the pocket. The problem with that is you don't have a number 1 wide receiver. Calvin Ridley is a 2 at best. You don't have a number 1 wide receiver. You have an average running game, and you don't have an extremely talented tight end. So it's not like you're working with a whole bunch of weapons on the offensive side of the football. Your offensive line is decent at best. You got to get out of there. You got to jump out that window and use what God gave you, which is those legs and make plays. And that's what he's not doing right now. And if he did that, that'll help the team out tremendously, in my opinion.
And that's what I'm saying.
The talent is there.
I think all QBs in the league are talented to a certain extent. Obviously, some are just more talented than others. And there's tiers, levels to it. But when I look at him, and I don't watch every single game from him, I'm not going to even lie to you. When I look at him play and looking at some of the highlights, I'm just like, I feel like I'll use Jackson as an example. Like Jackson may not have all the intangibles. He may not have, the arm that, Russ has, and he may not be as, phenomenal as this Patrick Mahomes, but there were just certain things. Like he's like, I can't really throw. I'm gonna use my legs. I'm just gonna use my natural instinct is to just run, extend this play. You know what I mean? And so I look at that. And when I look at Cam, I'm just like, I don't see like his his natural instincts kicking in, like to extend plays and to put them in the best position to win. Because I know it's unfair, but when you do get drafted number one, number two, like you do go to a sucky franchise. Like it is
Right.
what it is, right? You know, they expect you to come there and pretty much change the whole franchise in one season, and it's unrealistic. But I wasn't expecting him to go from, you know, from being a rookie to take them to the playoff Super Bowl in the first season, right? I wasn't expecting that. But there are certain things when I see him play, I'm just like, I feel like some things are just not clicking. I'm just like, why would you make that throw? Like, like why'd you do that? Like what made you think to do that? It's just like certain things to me that I'm just like IQ. I don't know. I really don't.
I don't normally judge quarterbacks too much off their first year. I
Hmm.
mean, CJ Stroud, his first year, he played very well.
Hmm.
Jaden Daniels, his first year, he played extremely well.
He did.
But for the most part, it takes time for these quarterbacks to develop. I
Hmm.
mean, you look at Drake May with New England. Last year, I was like, I don't know about Drake May. Maybe they
Hmm.
didn't get it right. And now I'm like, damn, they got a quarterback in New England.
Hmm.
They they gonna compete for the division. Like the Buffalo Bills got a problem with
The
the New
Buffalo Bills'
England.
problem is not being able to stop the run, but I don't think for one second Drake May is gonna outplay Josh.
I mean, the man just yesterday he only missed 2 passes. He broke Tom Brady completion percentage record in a game. I
Hmm.
mean, he had like a 91% completion percentage. That's amazing. That's unheard of. You play a
That's
whole
cute.
game and you only
That's
miss
cute.
2 passes the whole game. I mean, this guy Drake May is
Who were they
he's
playing again?
they played. I think they played Tennessee. So
Okay, there we
don't get.
go. Continue.
I'm just saying
Hmm.
Drake May after his past few games, he's putting himself up in the MVP conversation.
Okay. On
He's.
that note, I
I'm
don't know.
just.
I don't
I'm
know
just.
what's been going on in between. I don't know if you was coming off and getting a little sip or something in between when your camera wasn't when your Wi-Fi was
Wait a
messing
minute.
up.
They're in first place.
What?
They're in
What?
first place in the same division with Joshua Tyrell Allen. They're 5-2, and they beat the brakes off the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I mean, well, Stephon Diggs, showed up in that game.
I mean,
He's kind of par before, but I get it.
Drake May is playing well.
It wouldn't happen again.
We're gonna see because they got to play them again.
We will see.
So I'm just saying, as of right now,
Hmm.
I've been very impressed with the way Drake May has played. But it's his second year. His first year, he
Hmm.
looks a lot better this year than he did last year. I would even say the same thing for Caleb Williams. He doesn't look great, but Caleb
He looks
Williams looks
better.
better this year than
Hmm.
he did last year. So I like to give quarterbacks 2 or 3 years before I put my final judgment on who they are and where they're gonna be.
No, I mean, I'm not putting another touchdown. Okay. I'm not putting 26-12, y'all. I'm not putting my like final judgment on like his whole entire career, who I think he's gonna end up being, in the NFL.
Right.
But it's just like I'm looking certain things, like when you're a rookie. I'm looking at, your decision making, how you manage the clock, things like that. I'm looking at more so than I'm looking at like your overall career and what I think you're gonna become. And I'm just like, sometimes the decision making, I'm just like, mm. But then I think about it, I'm like, he had one good year in college. He
Yes.
had one good year. It wasn't like he had a long history of, of just dominating in college. He didn't, so that also could be a part of it as well.
You
Go ahead,
might
I'm
be
sorry.
right. No, you might be right. We shall see.
What we shall. Hold on, read this comment. CJ Stroud would be great, but Houston will make him decent. Houston is not a bad city, but what it brings. CJ, like I said, I don't know him personally. He seems to be, listen to him speak, in interviews and things. Seems to be a man of faith. Seems to have been raised the right way. I don't really see him out in the Houston streets too tough. Like maybe somebody is taking phones when he goes out to kind of protect him. I don't think that he's just out there, like not focused. But he definitely has regressed. I have to say that.
Yeah, you can't blame the city. I mean, you either a professional or you're not. I mean, I just look at Atlanta. Atlanta is a place where you can get into a lot of trouble in Atlanta. A lot of athletes come in to Atlanta for vacation and leave on probation. That's Atlanta. But Matt Ryan was a professional. won the MVP, took the team to the Super Bowl. New York is a place where I can imagine some stuff can go down in New York. But Eli Manning was a professional. Won 2 Super Bowls,
Eli's
2 Super Bowls.
boring.
Yeah, but he won 2 Super Bowls and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. It's called being a professional. And
He's
that's
professionally
what
boring. He wasn't gonna go out and do too much of nothing.
yeah, Tom Brady didn't go out and do too much, and he won 7 Super Bowls.
I mean, now some other who's not very exciting. I love Tom Brady, but he's not an exciting personality.
Peyton Manning wasn't exciting
Another one.
personality. But when they got out the game,
Mhm.
now I see Peyton Manning personality. I'm like, oh, this guy's funny. You see
You think
Eli,
so?
you see Eli in the commercial. You be like, oh, Eli got a little personality about him.
I don't see it
you
at all. I'm like, they are so boring.
I'm
Oh
saying it's
my
not.
God.
It's when they played. You saw nothing. I didn't even see Eli smile when he played.
You don't really see Jalen smile to me. Jalen to me always looks like it's a game. We're here to win.
Right, he's a professional. Now,
That's it.
once I finish playing and finish stacking up my accolades, then I can let my hair down and I can show you my personality and be who I really am. But as a quarterback, my first job is to be a professional. So if
You can
CJ
be
Stroud,
professional and still see your personality.
you can't be. Yeah, you can, but you can't be professional and be getting caught up in the city lights. That's not what you can't do. That I've seen it happen. I saw it happen with Mike Vick. I'm right here in Atlanta. I saw it happen. And the guy underachieved in his career because he wasn't professional. And that's what you have to be as a quarterback.
You know, I'm show your personality, but still be professional. I'm not saying go out and go crazy. You know what I mean? Like after the game, in between the games.
Ryan Leaf wasn't professional. Jamarcus Russell wasn't professional.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're not professional, then you Quincy Carter. I mean, I can list a whole bunch of quarterbacks who got caught up in the city lights. You know, shout out to Quincy Carter, Southwest DeKalb High School right here on the east side. But I'm just saying, Quincy, you had an opportunity. You was the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. You went 10-6, and then Romo got your spot because you weren't professional.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to be professional. That is a must. Personality, no personality. You do got to be professional. You do got to do your job, show up, stay late, come early. You know, your diet, you're working out, your discipline, all those things. Obviously factor into your success or lack thereof. So I get what you're saying. I'm just saying for CJ Stroud, like personally, outside of him hanging out with Micah, I think in the off season they were wrestling and things of that nature. Like I didn't really see him like out. Like I didn't really see him like in the club. I don't really see him out like with different women and things like that. So I guess if wrestling is like the worst thing that you could be doing, that to me it's not that bad. I know how you feel about him.
Yeah, don't hang out
study
with
your playbook. Like that's it. But you gotta live your life a little bit now.
No, not when you're the quarterback. The only life is the life that the fans need to see you living. That's you get paid too much money as a quarterback. Now you getting we at the 250 million, 300 million mark.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm saying, live your life, but you got to trick the paying public. Mm-hmm. You got to trick the people into believing that you're all about your craft. Because as soon as you start losing games, throwing interceptions, not completing passes at a high clip, the first thing they're gonna do, they're gonna say, "See, he's not in the playbook. He's hanging out with Michael Parsons sumo wrestling."
That's true.
See, he's at the high school football game with such and such. When he should, Tom Brady and those guys never gave you that opportunity. And so that's what I'm saying. You got to trick the people because the fans are fickle and they'll turn on you just like that.
That's too much control for me. For me, I think everybody, we have to, for me, even just as a fan, like, I don't think we have the right to tell these men or women, respectfully, what they should and shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's a human being. I think it's unrealistic to think people are not going to go out. Now, when you go out, are you doing anything crazy? Like, do we catch you, I don't know, drunk, stumbling out the club? That's something completely different. But if you at a game, on the sidelines, you watching courtside a basketball game, eating some popcorn, I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean to me that you weren't, studying your playbook, you weren't watching film, you didn't work out there's 24 hours in a day.
You're
You got
correct.
plenty of time to do plenty of different things. You know what I mean? The games at night, you could have had 4 workouts already. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to judge you by seeing you at a game here and there. But that's just me. I see
No,
them as human beings first before NFL and NBA athletes.
no, you're 100% correct. The only thing that the fans will tell you that they want you to do is win games. If you hanging out to the club at 3 o'clock in the morning, I mean, you look at this a different sport, basketball. Chicago Bulls, Dennis Rodman. He's at Vegas championship game one day. He's at Vegas the next night. Michael Jordan got to go pick him up to have him come back.
Yeah, that's a whole
so he
different
can play.
story. Yeah, that's different.
And they let Dennis Rodman get away with it because they were winning.
Mhm.
I couldn't believe it. As a wrestling fan, I watched Chicago Bulls playing Utah. They beat Utah. The next night, Dennis Rodman is in the wrestling ring with Hollywood Hogan smoking a cigar. I'm like, well, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. But the next night, he goes and he get 18 rebounds. Okay, if you can do that, then the fans won't care what you're doing. It's when you don't win games, you start throwing interceptions, your completion percentage goes down. That's when they start pointing and saying, this is why he's not winning. And so sometimes it's best to just safeguard yourself as much as possible, because at the end of the day, the question is, do you want the $300 million or you don't want the $300 million?
I get that. I mean, you definitely, I understand, like, there's presentation is important. Optics obviously play a factor in it. But for me, Dennis Rodman, going back to what you mentioned about him, to me as a GM, as a coach, I'm not accepting that kind of behavior. Because for me, like, when you tolerate it, when you're winning, and then when something happens and you start losing, you're like, okay, you can't do that anymore. I've been doing it the past 5 or 6 games. What's the problem now? Then you got a problem on your hands because you can't. Now you want to be tough coach. Put the hammer down, so to speak, and put your feet down, your foot down. And it's like, nah, I'm going to Vegas. I've been doing that. I'll see you tomorrow.
Trust me, you would tolerate it if you're gonna get 20 rebounds, great defense, and if your best player, Michael Jordan, telling you, I want this guy. It's no different than Tom Brady. Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay. He told them folks, he said, I want Antonio Brown. I know he's a problem. I know he got issues. I will let him stay with me in my house. I want Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
They won the Super Bowl with Antonio Brown.
They did.
He was a huge part of that team.
He was.
The moment Antonio Brown took off his jersey against the Jets and told them folks, I'm out of here, I'm done. That was the end of Tampa Bay.
Like running across the field.
Tampa Bay wasn't good no more. Tampa Bay wasn't good no more after that.
It was a hot mess, but the coach didn't want him there anyway. He was like, "Thank God, get rid of his ass." He's like, "We tolerated you because of Tom, but you can go now."
That's my point. They would have had a better chance of winning the Super Bowl with Antonio Brown as opposed to without him, and they would not cut Antonio Brown. If Antonio Brown had not have took his stuff off and told them I'm done, they would have kept him on the team.
For me, I think when coaches, and this is just my way of thinking, I know everybody might see it differently. I feel like when you allow your locker room to dictate how you coach, it may not be a problem right away, because when you're winning, it's the best deodorant. Like it masks everything. Like we're winning, it's fine. We're 10-2. Or we're 15-1, whatever it is. We're undefeated. We won 10 games in a row. You know what I mean? But when things shift and there's some adversity, then it becomes a real problem. And then you got then you try to get order again, or reestablish order and control of the locker room. And now it's hard because you allow them to pretty much dictate the whole thing. So for me as a coach and a GM, I'm like, I'm not even putting myself in that predicament. I'm not even going to go there.
In the history of sports, tolerance cannot be higher than production.
Mm-hmm.
As long as production is above tolerance, then they'll fool with you. I mean, that goes all the way back to Lawrence Taylor. I mean, Lawrence Taylor, he comes to the meetings late. He comes to practice late. They say, Coach, Lawrence Taylor ain't at practice yet. They say, well, don't start practice till you get here then. I mean, this guy, he's a freak. But as soon as he can't get me those 15, 20 sacks, now we gonna move on from you, LT.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how it goes. So I agree with you, but sometimes you have extraordinary talent, and teams will deal with that because at the end of the day, this is a winning business. It's
True.
about winning, and sometimes
Power rates so you can replace you.
you need Michael Irvin to win.
Mm-hmm.
You I'm gonna tolerate you, Mike. I know you got the White House back there, and I know what y'all doing back there, but we trying to win another Super Bowl. All right, we gonna deal with it.
What's up? What's up, Mel? How are you? Peace and blessings to you as well, my guy. I appreciate you coming through. You guys, hold on. Oh, God saw began and said, disregard the bet. Remember, he said,
Yeah, I know. Because I was
bet.
looking at Seattle's schedule. I said, shoot, they're gonna win next week too. They're gonna be 6-2. So yeah, good thing you want to take that back. I feel you.
I get what you're saying. Your house becomes the club. Houston will meet you at your front door. No, you made a comment earlier, Gospel Beginnings. Like, no, I've been to Houston one time, but I went to high school in Dallas. So I'm more familiar with Dallas than I am Houston or Austin or San Antonio. But to me, it comes down to your discipline. You know what I mean? Like when you are a 1% man and you have a lot of options and opportunities and temptations, I'm sure, that come your way in any state in England, if you're going to play a game there, Dubai, whatever it is, it comes down to me to your discipline. Like what you gonna do. I know the temptation might be there. I'm not gonna doubt it. But you got to stay focused and do what you got to do. All right. I saw Jaden Daniels' mom. I love me Mama Bear. Maybe it's the mama and me. A lot of conversation about Jaden being like being a RG3, or looking like RG3. And she tweeted out, like, I'm paraphrasing, can you guys stop comparing, or manifesting, I think is the word she used, Jaden, to RG3. Words are very powerful. And she had a valid point. Words are very powerful. Like when you can manifest it, when you keep putting it out there in the universe, you can bring it towards people, whether you realize it or not. There's power in the tongue. I firmly believe that. And I get what she's saying. I know he had a great rookie season and Soldier RG3, but he's been hurt this season. Like I don't want to, for me, I don't want to put out for the rest of his career, that he's going to end up like RG3. What about you? Do you see similarities? Do you see him going in the same direction as RG3?
Well, clearly there are similarities just based on the fact that, like you said, RG3, his first year was phenomenal. He won Rookie of the Year. Jane Daniels, first year, phenomenal. Rookie of the Year. Second year, RG3 starts to deal with some of the injuries. Second year, Jane Daniels started to deal with some of the injuries, and they both played with the Washington football team. So the similarities are there. I like Jane Daniels. I like him better than I like his mama. But I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I have question marks about this woman, but I will say this.
What question marks you got about mom?
She's just too intrusive for me. But maybe she knows Jaden better than I do. She treats him like a fifth grader. But
I don't think so.
But that's none of my business. She managed her kid the way she wanted to manage her kid.
I mean, look, she got him to the NFL.
She did get him to the NFL.
The starting QB.
She did get him in the NFL starting QB. So I can't not parent however you want to parent. At the end of the day, I think he's well, I don't know his personality. I mean, he's just as quirky as RG3, if you ask me. But he's very talented, and I like his game. And so I hope he can stay healthy and play. But me and you talked about this a couple of weeks ago when you said you think he needs to add a few pounds.
I was about to say that. I think he needs to put some weight on.
So that he could be more durable. Another thing is he's going to have to be very decisive with when he runs and when he doesn't run.
He did good that last season to me though. He was just like when he ran, I was really impressed by his decision making.
Yeah, I was gonna say last year he had a very good balance of that type of thing, and he was able to pretty much stay injury free. This season, not so much. I've seen him running to guys. I'm like, why are you running into these big linebackers? You weren't doing this last year. Last year you would run straight out of bounds. You'll get your yard, you'll slide, you'll get out of bounds. You weren't taking the hits. And this year, for whatever reason, you're taking more hits than you did last year. So I just need him to get back to having that balance. Yesterday's injury was a freak injury. It happens. I'm glad it was just a hamstring pull. We'll see how long he's out. But again, this is going to be the second time in this short season that he's going to miss time with some sort of ailment. So
Yeah,
I wish the best for him because man, that season he had last year was phenomenal.
it was,
And
right?
and everybody who likes football, I mean, pretty much fell in love with the kid's game.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to see more of him, on the football field. And I want to see less of Marcus Mariota. Let me just put it that way.
Okay. I really do think a lot of it. I think also when you're a rookie, there's not really much footage on you in the NFL. So I feel like you can kind of get away with certain things your first year. And then once that first year is up, people kind of have more of an understanding of your game, your weaknesses, your strengths, and they game plan for you a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a part of it as well. But I do feel like I was always concerned about his weight. I was like, man, he's small. I'm like, he's a little scrawny thing. But his decision making, I'm like, okay, he's finding his way, he's making good decisions, he's not taking necessary sacks, so I was like, okay, maybe he can figure his way through it. But this season, like, he needs to put some more weight on. I think I'm not saying he had to put on like 10 pounds, 50 pounds of muscle, but he needs to put something on. A couple more burgers, in that weight room just a
No.
little bit, like something, I don't know I don't have I'm not a nutritionist or a strength trainer, but he needs to do just a little something to help him out.
Right. I think he'll be all right. Let's see. I don't think he's regressed in the way that I've seen CJ Stroud regress.
Mm-hmm.
His if he has any regression, it's strictly due to being hurt. Not
Yeah, I get that.
when he's healthy, he's playing well.
Read these comments real quick. Gospel beginnings. Words are influential, but God is always in control. I understand. I agree with you half of that. I do believe that. I think words are powerful. You can manifest anything. I feel like, be it good, be it bad. If you spend time manifesting a certain lifestyle, a house you want, a spouse, like I feel like you attract what you believe. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. And when you have people who keep constantly putting out negative things, they may not mean any harm by it. And I don't think everybody really means to put that on him. But I agree with what she's saying. You really have to be careful with what comes out of your mouth. So my son, the same thing. Like you have to really be careful. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I don't know how you feel about it. Do you believe like in the power of the tongue and things of that nature?
Yeah, with words you can cast spells. So I definitely believe in the power of manifestation. And a lot of times most of the time we get what we manifest, even if we don't understand what we're manifesting. That's why it's a very positive thing to understand manifestation and what it is, so that you can sort of direct the things that you manifest. Because there's an old saying that says, "Be careful what you wish for; you might just get it." And so yes, I do agree that there are power with words. And when you speak with intentions.
I was going to say they got to be intentional. You got to be intentional. Be specific and be intentional.
Correct.
All right. Hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wait. Gospel beginning said the father was present too, Catherine. You meant to say Kaj. I get you. The mother is doing too much. I think a lot of it also has been the way the media puts the spin on it. Like even with the game, we saw her like sit between him and I think his girlfriend now, Juju. That her sitting in between them was like for maybe like a few minutes. It wasn't as long the way like the media made it out to be. Like she came and sat there for the duration of the game and like they couldn't talk. Like like it wasn't that. And if you saw her, I think she was on the pivot few months ago, and she did an interview. She's like, he's a grown man, like he still makes his own decisions, but like I said, media is very entertainers, as Nadia would say,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So when she did that, like they're always going to show you a piece of something or a clip of something, and then if it looks, it could be that could be taken the wrong way in any kind of capacity, they're going to go with that. And it's going to go viral 10 times over. We seen with Aisha Curry recently. She said one thing, and I mean,
Yeah.
they have been just dragging poor Aisha for the past, I don't know how many weeks, bringing up old interviews she did like 10 years ago and whatnot. So you really have to be careful. But I don't think she's doing too much. I've never heard anything about his father. I don't. I don't know anything about his father.
That's my issue. And I think my issue now that you explained it, it's not so much with his mom. It's as much as it is with how the media portrays his mom and
Hmm.
how they, you know, put her in the forefront the way they put her. You don't hear about his father. See,
Is his dad around? I never really seen him at games. I didn't see him at the
yeah,
draft. I saw him and his mom.
and that's the thing. I don't know. My issue is in the black community, there's an epidemic going on.
Hmm.
And I don't want to get too much into it because this is a sports show. But
You're not
part
like
of the
Brother D. I gotta be
part of
going in.
yeah, part of the epidemic that we're having is come from the media and the programming, and what it's doing is removing the man out of the family structure and elevating the woman. And the reason we don't have community and why we can't have any unity, because
Mhm.
unity and community starts at the home.
True.
And when you're at the home and there's no father present, and you leave it to, and I grew up with a single mother. Well, I didn't. My mother wasn't with my father, but we always had a male role model in the house, which was
Okay.
positive. But she was the controlling figure in the house. She was the dominant figure in the house, and it it just she did great. But there's a lot of flaws in that,
Hmm.
and I just think as a community they push this on us, and they push this on our women to be leaders and to lead the household and to raise
Hmm.
the kids and to do it all by themselves and be so strong and put so much on your shoulder, and the community is cracked for it, and that's the issue. So that's my problem. My problem is how the media pushes out. You rarely see in the media these athletes, these football players with their fathers. You rarely see in the media these football players, these successful athletes with a black girlfriend or a black wife. They're quick to show you the football athlete who proposes to the white girl after the game, who has the white wife, and that's all programming. Because those are few instances, but they show you the few instances and don't show you what's really going on. So
Hmm.
that's my problem with his mom. It's not really her. It's just how the media portrays the relationship she has with her son.
Yeah, that really, really is. Because I've seen him and Juju hanging out plenty of times now. So whatever they got going on, mom must be okay with it. Or if she's not okay with it, Jaden don't really care how she feels about it. 'Cause I've seen her, around a few times recently at games, at I think her birthday party, just different things. So something's going on, and I think mom's okay with that. I think,
Mm,
look, out of all women in the world that your son could be dating, Juju has a head on right. She's talented. Like, I don't think she's trying to trap him. So I think he got himself a good one.
I don't know. I don't know Juju like that. I like her basketball game. I don't know
Mhm.
her personally, but the
I don't
perception
think she's
is,
trying to get pregnant and trap him for
well,
his money. You know what I mean? I
no,
think
I mean,
her thing is basketball.
well,
Yeah, do you ever
again,
watch her, like
uh,
how hard she's training, like how much work she
yeah.
puts into like her
Well,
basketball?
I'm gonna say two things on this.
Hmm.
First of all, the perception is this perception that the media gives, and I don't know if it's true or not. It's none of my business.
Hmm.
I really don't care. But the
Hmm.
perception is that Jaden Daniels is a virgin. He's AC Green.
I
He
never
he
thought that.
he not allowed to hit nothing. You know what I'm
I,
saying? That's a perception that they kind of put out there because his mama is guarding him against all the horrors that's out there that can take advantage of him. That, that's that's to be applauded if that's what you're doing.
I never got that vibe from him, honestly speaking.
Second thing is, let's say him and Juju are an item.
Hmm. What?
This is gonna be very controversial what I'm about to say,
Uh
but
oh.
it's
Just
it's
spell it out.
it's the truth. A lot of times, what's being sold in our in the Black community is that women should focus on education. They should focus on their careers.
That's very true.
They should focus on all that first, and then at the end of that, then find yourself a relationship. Then get yourself into a marriage, and that's counterproductive. It don't make no sense. Any other race can do both. They can get in a relationship, be married, and work on their education and their career. But for our women, it's pushed on them that do your education, work on your career, get established first. Now, by the time you 35, 40, now you want to settle down. It's almost an uphill battle to really get into a solid relationship at that point when your best years are in your 20s. So I just don't understand, but this is what they do to us, and this is why our communities are in the situation that they're in, because we follow a terrible blueprint that no other race of people, no other race of women are following. So I'll just leave that there because this is a sports show.
I'll piggyback on what you said. Honestly speaking, like I'm not gonna get too deep in it. I feel like the men are not what they used to be either. I know like my grandfather, like, and I know it probably sounds, traditional and old school, but like coming home, like his check he would hand to my grandmother. Like you pay the bills and take care of the house. So I work obviously, but I give it to you to handle the household, functions, the
Right.
bills, things of that nature. And now there's so much controversy on being a passport bro and not dating anybody who's a single mom and all these different
Yeah.
things. And I'm just like, we're so divided. I feel
Yes.
like, in
I
terms of
agree.
the genders, okay, I'm a man, so that means I should be working and I want my woman to be at home. Like, I mean, Aisha spoke a little bit about her wanting to do something for herself, like still have her own identity outside of Steph. And everybody's like, oh my God, how ungrateful is she? You have Steph Curry and you still want to have your own identity. Like you can do anything you want to do. I'm like, y'all, relax. She's entitled to want to be more than just Steph Curry's wife. That's not a dig against him, at least not the way I took it. I don't think it was offensive, but everybody was like really getting on her for being ungrateful. I'm like, what's wrong with her wanting to have a job or accomplish goals, things that she set for herself? It's almost like women need to just, I don't know, stay in the house at times and not work or just take care of the house. And if a woman says, I want to work, I want to have my own business, like, oh, well, you trying to be the man. Why does it have to be that? Why can't I have goals and ambitions? Why does that threaten you or the relationship? I
Right.
don't understand it. Like it just goes someplace else and it just becomes a really big debate and conversation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it does. I'm not gonna get too deep into that because that's a conversation for a whole nother show.
yeah,
But I will say this: who's raising these boys? I agree with you. Men aren't what they used to be, but who's raising these boys? And that's the problem.
a lot
But
of times, a lot of kids I think are raising kids now. Kids are
they
getting
are.
having kids so young, like they don't know what they're doing. And people I think just rush into getting pregnant and being a parent, being someone's dad, mother comes with a lot of sacrifice, a lot of time. If you are not prepared to sacrifice and put yourself on the back burner, parenthood
Right.
is not for you.
Right.
like,
Well, times
it's
have changed.
like
Times
it's
have
just not.
definitely changed. You don't have households, or you don't have villages or communities where everybody
Mhm.
looks out for everybody. You might have the
True.
grandmother and the grandfather in the house.
Hmm.
When my grandparents were young, my grandparents got married. They were 17, 16 years old. They
Very
had
young. Hmm.
11 children.
Oh my.
They stayed together until death did them part, and they stayed together for the family. They argued a lot, you know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
it wasn't no leaving. I remember I asked my granddad one day, I asked him, I said, how do you stay in a marriage for so long? He
Mhm.
said, just don't leave.
Very
Simple.
simple.
No matter what happens, no matter the disagreement, just don't leave.
Mhm.
You stay there for the family. So things were just a lot different back then than they
Very.
are now. And so, but Black people have went through segregation. We went through Jim Crow. We went through lynchings and all sort of racist things. But the family was stronger back then, and we got all the rights and the freedoms in the world right now, and it's a lot more messed up. So
Mhm.
How was it able to be so strong then? How were we able
Mhm,
to maintain unity then as opposed to right now?
mhm.
Which again, we can do a whole show about these things because I have a lot of theories and answers about them.
Hold on, read this comment from Gospel Begins. Yes, please let's move on because this might trigger some people. I dated single women to find out. Look, I think there's going to be bad apples no matter where you go.
Right,
People say like black men don't have good credit, go to a white man, like there are some black men who do have great credit. Not
right,
all black men, are gang bangers and thugs
correct.
and, like, or not good fathers. There's this, this stigma over the black community that all black
Right,
men or most black men are not present. They're not fathers.
right,
But my son's an athlete. There are plenty of black men who were there rooting on their kids at these games, like football games, basketball games, like they're very, very present, So
that's
if we
correct.
go by what we see on social media or honestly, I also say, how are you choosing these women? Because every single mom doesn't have drama. Like,
Right,
and that to
right,
me is also like a false narrative. You get somebody, who has kids, you're going to have all this drama and a kid who's like, you're not my dad when he gets upset or she gets upset. That's not the case for everybody. People like Russell Wilson and Sierra seem to have figured it out. If you want to use them as an example, but just there are people that I know who have had stepfathers who have been like fathers for them since they've been there. So they were 2 or 3 years
right,
old. And
right,
they've done wonderful jobs, So everybody doesn't have the same, situation. And I really wish that we stop putting that out there for black men to all be like this, all black
right,
women to be like this, all single moms to be like this. You know what I mean? White
right,
women are better because they're white and they're easier and they're more submissive. If a
right,
woman loves you and you're doing the right things by her, I am telling you, she will submit naturally. You won't have to ask her or try to talk to her about it. It will come naturally. It will, you guys. I'm just telling you what I know as a woman. Okay.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that.
Please,
Stay off the social media, people.
y'all, and don't let, some bad experiences, taint your vision for everyone.
Right, right,
You know, I'm not going to discredit anybody's, what they've gone through because it's not my experience and my way to do that. But, I think if we all go by who we dated, and we compare or look at it through that lens every single time, you're going to find some fault with everybody.
correct.
Or you can. All right, you guys, final topic, you guys. Kansas City, Kansas City. You guys, are the Chiefs back? Are you guys feeling like, okay, you know what? This is the Chiefs team that I am used to seeing, and this is the team I think that's going to get back to Super Bowl again this season. How do you feel about it?
Again, I told you earlier, I don't like to really judge teams based off you being up on a bad team. But in this case, when Rasheed Rice back,
Hmm.
they got all their weapons now. I mean, you look at Travis Kelce had his best game of the season. He looked better. He looked
Hmm.
like he was in the place where he needed to be. Rasheed Rice came out hitting on all cylinders. He had like 2 touchdowns in the game. You had Hollywood Brown. He making a play. He getting a touchdown. Pacheco was running a little bit harder than he
Hmm.
seems like he was running all season. And they
Hmm.
really put a number on the Raiders. And the way they put the number on the Raiders, I mean, you talking about 30-0. You shut them out. That was a clear message to the whole league that we are back and we ought to be reckoned with. So watch out if the Kansas City Chiefs are on your schedule.
I'm not buying it. Um, I don't see that. To me, this Chiefs team, like I said, after that demolition job that the Eagles did on the Super Bowl, I do not look at them the same at all. I don't. And obviously I don't play in the NFL, but I don't feel like teams they still have that fear that they once had when they go up against Kansas City. To me, like they exposed them, they exposed, their weaknesses, their vulnerabilities. And I'm glad that, Rice is back and Xavier, and that they got a fully healthy team. Because I hate when people can say, "Well, man, we didn't have this one, we didn't have that one." I don't want no excuses. I want everybody to be fully locked and loaded, so the best team just wins, and just take your L, and that's it. But I mean, you played against who? Like who was the competition that you faced? And you got to play the schedule that you're given. I get that, but I still got to assess the competition. You know, like did you shut out, a better team? Did you shut out and stop from scoring I don't know, Baker Mayfield, obviously. I'm
Right,
gonna this example.
right.
I'm not saying that they're not capable of winning, but I have to factor that in. I can't pretend like it's not a thing. Whenever you have Patrick Mahomes, I feel like you always have a chance because he's just so talented. And him and Andy Reid, that connection. But I'm not quite sold just yet. I don't see them winning again this year. I don't. They will be competitive though. I do. I
Yeah,
do. To me, they will be competitive. But
yeah, of course they're gonna be competitive. They look.
I mean,
It
more so than what they were when
it
the season started.
it was the Raiders. I'll concede that because that's what I've been telling you the whole night about all these other teams.
Hmm.
But the week prior to that, it was the Detroit Lions, a good team.
Hmm.
Like, okay, you beat Detroit Lions, a good team, and then away they beat the Las Vegas Raiders. They beat them 30-0. They beat them in fine fashion. They beat them in dominant fashion to where you guys say, okay, after you beat Detroit, you come back and you do Las Vegas this way.
Hmm.
And I gotta start paying attention to Kansas City now.
Hmm.
They might be all the way back because we had been saying all season, man, they don't got Pat Mahomes is working with nothing on it. He's trying to put receivers together. He got 4 in this week.
Hmm.
Travis Kelce ain't looking the same. He hit Xavier Worthy. He put him out for a couple weeks. Now they got Xavier Worthy back. They got like I said, they got Rashee Rice back.
Hmm.
But that puts Kelce back where he needs to be. That opens up the running game.
Hmm.
Yeah, they are a problem. And then you gotta also remember at the Detroit game, which I picked Detroit to win, but if I had known Taylor Swift and Caitlin Clark was going to be at the game, I would have picked Kansas City to win.
Hmm.
You got to factor that in. I think they're undefeated when Taylor Swift comes to the game.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean Kansas City is back, baby, and I don't like it, but it is what it is. Teams gonna have to go into the games with Kansas City with the mentality. Now, this is my Super Bowl. Let's put everything into beating them. Because like you said, I think over the last few weeks, teams were playing Kansas City like, oh, we really not scared of them no more. They're not really a threat like that.
I think teams still feel that way. I mean, you're
Well,
obviously going to approach them. I would hope with like a healthy level. I don't want to say of fear, but you're going to be aware of they got 15 on that side. I mean, like, no, it don't matter to me. To me, I don't even care like who the weapons are or not on the field. Patrick Mahomes is still one of those ones. You know what I mean? So I'm never going to just count them out. And I feel like whenever you approach a game and you're playing them, like, the defense has obviously been keeping them in games, even without the weapons, available on the offensive side of the
right.
ball. So for me, if you come into that game just thinking we just gonna knock them, just run over them, like that's foolish to me, foolish thinking. With any team, it doesn't even have to be the Chiefs. I feel like you should always come into it like this is NFL. Anybody can get God any week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me, I'm just like when I watched them play, and like I said, I'm glad they got the weapons back. But to me, something shifted in that Super Bowl, and I haven't seen it come back yet.
Well, I'll tell you this. The next 2 games will give us a solid understanding of who the Kansas City Chiefs are. Next week, they're going to win.
Well, who are they playing next?
They're 4-3 right now. They're 4-3 right now. Next week, they're going to play the Commanders. Jane Daniels.
Okay, well, yeah.
Jane Daniels probably isn't playing. But after that, they go up into Buffalo to play against Joshua Tyrell Allen. And depending on the outcome of that game, that's going to tell everybody everything they need to know about the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's also going to tell everybody what they need to know about the Buffalo Bills.
Well, I think for me, I said from the first game, like even last season, they need more on the defensive side. I mean, to me, that's just obvious, and they need somebody else, another weapon for Josh. I really think so. Like I would try to. I know he might not want to leave, but I think they wasting Justin Jefferson's time over there. Like the quarterback carousel they got going on. You got somebody this season. You're competitive, but I really feel like, look, if I'm Justin, I'm trying to go someplace else.
Are you trying to get Justin Jefferson to Buffalo on the slide?
I'm not going to slide. I'm just saying it outright. if I had the opportunity, like I'm gonna try to go on ahead and get Jetta on this side. Like that kind of weapon, even if Josh is not throwing the ball to him, like it's still gonna open it up because now you gotta account for him. You cannot just leave him wide open. And you got to put more than one person in that area on him, right? That the one-on-one is it's no point even doing that. But then you still got James Cook on his side, like so. And Josh can still use his legs as well. So to me, like Justin Jefferson would be perfect if we could get him to Buffalo.
Yeah, if you were playing Madden, it would work out. But
Say
if you were playing Madden, that would work out. But when you talk about the kind of contract that Justin Jefferson has
Yeah, I
to
know.
go along,
Yeah.
you just paid Cook and what Josh Allen is getting. Okay, you want to sacrifice the offensive line, you know. But I feel you though. If the Buffalo Bills had Justin Jefferson, it would be a cheat code, and they might break all kind of records.
I know, like but going back to Buffalo Bills, like I know aside from my Madden, vision, the defense is a problem. I said that from the first game, and I love me some Joshua Tyrell Allen, as you know, but I like to call a spade a spade. The defense is a problem. It is a problem. Now when it comes to Patrick, like they've obviously battled back and forth plenty of times, so know each other really, really well at this point. The coaches and everybody in between. And Josh typically does beat him in the regular season. It's obviously the postseason where the issue comes in. So for me, if they did not beat them in the regular season, like maybe we could actually flip it and beat them in the postseason this time. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna look at it that way. Because the expectation is usually like, okay, we know that Josh can find a way to beat Patrick Mahomes in the regular season. But when like the main stage shows up, and some of these wins I don't really fucking even on Josh, I'm being honest with you. I left you with 13 seconds on the clock. We were winning. You need to get a stop.
Right.
You need to get a stop.
Right.
I left you with 13 seconds on the clock.
Yes.
We were winning when I walked off. 13 seconds on the clock. Like, what the heck? You know what I mean? Like, what more can I do? Like, what you want me to do? But it should be a good game. Like I said, now that they have their weapons back, and obviously we can all see that the Bills have a problem stopping the run, they might just win that game, in spite of how great I think Josh is.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I seen Buffalo was against the Falcons, and
they couldn't stop Bijan.
In the first half, Bijan did everything he wanted to do. He ran the ball, he caught the ball, he scored the ball, whatever he wanted to do. In the second half, Buffalo defense played tremendous. The offense could get nothing. And I'm like, what's going on? So now I know you have concerns with the defense, but I have concerns with the offense.
Well, a lot of it goes through James Cook as well.
Right.
James Cook is not going to cook every game.
Correct.
You're not going to expect him to just run amok every single game. That's unrealistic. So if you slow down James Cook and he's not able to cook, then who else you got? That's why I said Justin Jefferson. I mean, I know like that. Just be a prayer out there for the gods. But if not Justin Jefferson, they really need to consider getting somebody else. To make it easier for Josh.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, Tyler Lockett just told Tennessee that he wanted out. They mutually parted ways. So Tyler Lockett is out. He'll be a free agent. So I don't know if that's something that Buffalo might be interested in. He's another small receiver. He's getting up there in age. Maybe Shakir is good enough to, be that guy, that utility guy. But to your point, they don't really have a number one wide receiver in Buffalo.
They don't. Everything is James Cook.
Right.
And then Khalil, sometimes, but pretty much James always going to get the ball and then just run. Like that's what he's going to do, every single time. And that formula is not going to work for every single team. It's not, so they got to fix that. If your defense, Josh putting up, like Joe, putting up, let's say 30 points a game. But, your defense is allowing 33 points, 32 points, and you still losing. In spite of how many touchdowns Josh is, throwing for or running over you for. So it's not going to work, You got to get some stops.
I agree. They got to fix it.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do, but that's been the issue over and over again. Before we get out of here, though, I'm sure I'm gonna read this comment really quickly. Shador with Minnesota Vikings is Rookie of the Year and first round playoffs. Okay, okay, I like what you're saying now. Now you're talking my language. JJ McCarthy defines the antithesis of mediocrity since this is YouTube to be less controversial. I like Shador with Justin, and I agree. Like you're not going to get an argument here for me. Maybe it's me being biased, and my wishful thinking, but I have no argument. I agree with the Shador part. What you think? Don't get quiet now. What you think?
Carson Wentz is putting up big numbers. I mean, Minnesota is 3-3.
He looked crazy out there sometimes. He's running for his life.
Of course, he's running for his life. So,
I'm like, Carson, where are you going?
What would Shador be doing? Shador would be running for his life. Like,
you just want to be a Debbie Downer.
No, I want to be as real as possible. I want to be as authentic as possible. I like Shador. I want to see Shador get an opportunity. I believe his opportunity is coming soon.
Yeah, not the way you talk about Big Play Gabe.
Yeah, Big Play Gabe is, and this is the thing.
Little Dylan.
What the coach was saying today, he said,
what do you say now?
The coach said, we haven't turned the ball over in 3 games. That gives us a chance to win. I agree with that. The offensive line, if you saw the Cleveland play this week, and they say Kevin Stefanski went in and he lit up the offense. They say he went to Hood Stefanski. He cussed everybody out. They say he was on some stuff they had never seen before. And he really got into the offensive line. And you saw how that offensive line played this week. They dominated in the trenches. And that's why Jenkins was able to dominate the way he did on the ground. I mean, Dylan Gabriel, he just managed the game. He's not out there, changing the game. He's not a game changer. I agree with that. He's not a game changer. But what he does, he stays on script. He doesn't turn the ball over. And he gives the team with that defense a chance to be in every game. And
they give him the most basic conservative plays.
Yeah. That's because he got a rookie quarterback and he wants to give his rookie quarterback the best opportunity to succeed. I mean, we just talked about Cam Ward earlier and talk about how awful he looks. But they're putting a lot on Cam Ward's plate early.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
They're not giving him, the same vanilla plays and just get us through it. They need Cam Ward to be a game changer in order to have an opportunity to even stay in games, to compete. So, with that being said, I believe the Cleveland Browns have New England this week. That's going to be a tough game. Like I said, Drake May has been playing out of this world. And Mike Vrabel going against a rookie quarterback, I'm pretty sure he has some tricks up his sleeve that Dylan Gabriel hasn't seen. So, and they got to go on the road. It's going to be a tough game. Depending on how Dylan Gabriel looks this game, we could be a game away from seeing Shador. So, I believe Shador going to get his opportunity because, honestly, Cleveland Browns aren't that good. And honestly, I don't know how much better Shador can. I mean, I think he'll make it look a little bit better, but he don't got no weapons. I mean, Jerry Jeudy is not a true number 1 wide receiver. You got the other guy, Isaiah Bond. He's a rookie. You relying on rookie tight ends, and Joku is out. I don't know when he's gonna be back since he took the big hit the game before. The offensive line had to get hyped up. Okay, they were hyped up for one game, but can they be hyped up for the next game and the next game after that? I mean, the offense just isn't that good, just to be honest.
I get what you're saying. I get it. And look, in all fairness, I know I'll be joking about little Dylan, but he's done what they've asked him to do, which is, take care of the ball, just manage the game, don't do too much, don't try to be the superhero, just do what we asked you to do, and that's it. So, I never saw him as a franchise QB. I don't. I still don't. And that could be also because they're playing so conservative. They don't want him to turn the ball over. That could be a part of it as well. He might have some more tricks up his sleeve that I'm unaware of. But, I'll give him that. And I'm moving on.
Did you call him Little Dylan?
I always call him that, like Little Dylan. Yeah, yeah.
You're hilarious. But you don't call Russ Little Russ.
Of course not.
Oh,
And
okay.
Russ we trust.
Okay.
Of course
All
not.
right.
It's always in Russ we trust.
Okay.
Before we get out of here, y'all, I want to ask you about this because there's been a lot of conversation about the upcoming Super Bowl, right? So,
Okay.
um, how do you feel about Bad Bunny doing the halftime show? Because I see there's a lot of some people who are excited. I saw some people who were learning Spanish, getting ready for Super Bowl on Instagram and TikTok. And then I saw some who were like, they're banned. He should be banned, not even allowed. Are you big on halftime show? Do you watch it? You like, I don't really care about it.
If it's the artist that I like when Rihanna came up there, I was excited. I said, I can't wait to see Rihanna. When Kendrick Lamar was up there last year, I was like, okay, I want to see what he does. So, there's certain artists, Prince, Michael Jackson, the greats, when they up there doing their thing, I want to see them perform. I like Bad Bunny. I don't know much about Bad Bunny, honestly.
Well, I mean, we saw him, in performance. I forgot what performance it was when he kissed the guy on stage.
See, I didn't
I
see
don't
all
think,
that. I don't.
and ever since that happened, people were like, "Oh, what is he gonna do?"
And that's why I'm about to get into this conflict. I'm gonna tell you where I know Bad Bunny from. I know Bad Bunny from wrestling. He had a song called Booker T that sounds really good, and then he went to WWE and he had a match and he performed really well to be a celebrity entertainer that's dabbling into the wrestling profession. So I was like, man, he did pretty good to be a celebrity. He was one of the best celebrities that I seen come in and do it. So I was like, I like Bad Bunny. I was like, he's cool. And then they announced that he was doing the Super Bowl, and then that's when I started seeing things like he kisses guys, he wears dresses, he's into this, he's into that. And so from that aspect, I'm like, I don't think that should be pushed on the people. That's bad programming in my opinion. But as far as his music and his performances, I mean, I think he's won with like 8 Grammys, 9 Grammys. I mean, he's one of the best.
He's one of the big. I think he's the top leading like international global artist right now, like number one in the world, like across. So
right, and so there are going to be a lot of people, casual fans, because the Super Bowl is a corporate event. The casual fan, the regular fan don't go to the Super Bowl. This is a corporate event. A lot of people are just come to the Super Bowl just to watch Bad Bunny perform.
Right? Yeah.
The game is the game. All right, it's the game. The game is the sideshow. I'm coming to see Bad Bunny and what he gonna do. So from that aspect, I get it. I think Jay-Z is on the committee, and there have been lots of questions talking about
all the black artists have been performing.
Right. Is it time for Nicki Minaj to have a opportunity to do a Super Bowl?
We should have had Drake,
Lil Wayne. Drake, Lil Wayne. There's other artists out there, but for whatever reason, he wants Bad Bunny. And
they did ask Taylor Swift, they said, but they couldn't. They couldn't
Taylor Swift turned it down.
They said her list of, I guess, demands, things that she wanted, they couldn't meet eye to eye on that.
Right, which is, to me, that could be telling. I mean, if you offer Taylor Swift this opportunity and she turned it down, man, I would like to know the details of what was really going on with why she turned it down. But then to go to Bad Bunny and him himself, I mean, again, Bad Bunny is the international superstar. I get it. I can't knock it. Their decision to do it. I'm just hoping that Bad Bunny does not wear a dress and he does not kiss any men on the lips in the Super Bowl.
And that's the thing, he likes to push the envelope. Some people feel like he likes to he's all about empowerment. It really depends on the way, the lens you choose to look through, how you see him. So yeah, I don't know if I would if you got young kids, you might want to not have them watch this halftime show. Maybe they can watch it on replay after you see it for yourself and then decide if you want them to watch it. But I do expect him to be controversial. I do not expect him to play it safe at all, just given the kind of artist that he is.
Well, you might be right, considering that last year Kendrick Lamar pushed the envelope and he didn't play it safe. And it was very controversial to a lot of
Mhm.
people. And so maybe that gives an artist like Bad Bunny the courage to say, okay, now I'm gonna push the envelope in the way
Mhm.
that I want to push it. But I just think they have to be very careful with that because you can say don't let your kids watch it, but they can't escape it because they got YouTube, they got these
Mhm.
phones, they got social media. It's gonna be clipped up. It's gonna be broken down by every detail. What this mean? What this mean? If he
Mhm.
did some sort of ritual, some people gonna say this is the such and
Yeah.
such
Mhm.
ritual that he did, and I'm really not into all of that, you know. But again, he makes decent music. He's an international superstar. I get it.
Yeah, he's
So
huge.
so it's the Super Bowl. I know what the Super Bowl is all about. I can't say Bad Bunny was a bad idea.
They want people to watch, people, whether good or bad. They want
Right.
people to watch and talk about it, So this would definitely be a conversation.
Correct.
The halftime show will be trending, I'm pretty sure, when it does happen. So yeah. Hold on. Wait. God so beginning. Okay, so the question is, how do we go into legends to someone we never heard of or even recognize their name until mentioned? You may not know him, but Bad Bunny is huge. He is huge. Like he's not some random artist they picked out to do the halftime show. Like he has a huge global international fan base. So yeah, yeah. Um, hold on. You said Brandy and Monica could have an extension of their tour at Super Bowl. It's not going to be the same kind of viewership. And I love Monica. I love
All
Brandy.
right.
I would like to go to their concert, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know when they come to New York, but they're not going to pull in the same viewership as Bad Bunny.
No,
They're not at
no,
all. The
no.
Boy Is Mine is not going to pull the same viewership.
Maybe they had a time where they could have done it, you know, maybe 15, 20 years ago.
Hmm.
Maybe they could have pulled it off, but the truth is, and Monica, she's from Atlanta, so you know, shout out to Monica. But
Hmm.
Brandy was always the bigger of the two stars. They came out at the same time, so it's sort of always been a rivalry between them two when it
Hmm.
came to singing and who was better and who danced better and who made better videos and that type of thing.
Hmm.
But Brandy was always the bigger of the two, and so it's cool that they on tour together. I saw that. I
It
saw them
is. Yeah, I like that.
on
They
the cover
finally
of a
put that.
magazine. I was
Hmm.
like, okay, they putting the two together. You know, they trying to go
Hmm.
make a make their last little run. You know, I'm okay with that. That's cool.
Yeah, I like Monica, always have. I like Brandy too. Um, but like I said, this is going to be an interesting halftime show. I don't know if he's going to be kissing guys, but I do expect him to dress or wear something that might be like, whoa, like what is he wearing? What does that mean? What's the symbolism behind it? Kind of thing. I do expect that. I
I'm gonna
do.
tell you this because you know sometimes these Super Bowl performers they have other guests that they bring to the
That
show
too.
and they
Hmm.
perform. If Bad Bunny comes out there with a dress on and lipstick and eyelashes, and if he brings out Little Nas X, I'm done. I might not even watch the second half of the game. I might be done with the Super Bowl for the whole night. I'm not doing it.
Really?
I'm gonna have a problem.
Oh
Yes.
my. I forgot about Lil Nas X. I know he had some issue a couple of weeks ago. When they found him walking around naked, like he was high on something. I really hope that he gets himself together mentally, really and truly. Um, Big Dog, what's up, Big Dog? I haven't seen you in a minute. Bad Bunny halftime show equals food break.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna.
Yes.
I wasn't gonna watch it at first because like I'm not like a big Bad Bunny fan, but I said I'm gonna watch and see what actually happens.
Of course you're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Everybody like to see a car crash, a train wreck.
But who knows? He might play it safe because kids are watching. I don't expect him to, but you
The
never
tra-
know.
the train might not go off the track, but I
You
need to
never know.
see. Right.
But I don't know if he's gonna be. If he starts kissing guys and things of that nature, I don't know what's gonna happen. I really
What you
don't.
mean? What you mean? You don't know what's gonna happen?
I mean, like because they put him out there, knowing like the kind of artist that he is, like whose head is gonna roll. Like if he does push the envelope way out there, it's like a huge uproar. Like I'm just wondering, like will there be a head that rolls for it?
Yeah, but we're not gonna see the head roll. We might hear
Mhm.
about it after the fact,
Yeah, after, of
but,
course, yeah.
but what's not gonna happen is they're not gonna stop the halftime show, and people are gonna talk about it.
Mhm.
And so yeah, it's watching to see if this train gonna run off the track or not. I
I
mean,
mean, but
I'm gonna
nowadays
watch it. I'm gonna watch it, and I know what I don't want to see, but I gotta see if I'm gonna see what I don't want to see.
Big Dog said Bad Bunny and Lil Nas X will be the nastiest of work.
Right.
It might not be, anything crazy. They might wear dresses, maybe. They might, I don't know, do a
What you
little
mean? Hold on, wait.
a little twerk, maybe,
What you
'cause
say? You said it might not be anything crazy, and then your next thing was they might just wear a dress and do some
because
twerking.
honestly speaking, aside from Bad Bunny, right, Lil Nas X, like I see a lot of men wear skirts in fashion now.
Wait a
I've seen
minute.
Kanye do it. Who else? Like when you see them go to like these fashion shows, and sometimes you see them come to games, like they really push the envelope with the fashion now. It's almost become like
That's
everything is unisex. Men can wear lipstick, they can wear lashes, they
no,
can wear heels. It's like there's like
no.
no man or woman now almost. It's like
This is a problem.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that's the way society is going.
No, that's not how it's supposed to go. That's the issue. That's the issue.
Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying. They got
We
the,
can't
the
have this
athletes
type of
with the nail
behavior.
polish. They got the
No,
athletes
that.
with the nail
Oh my
polish and things of that
gosh.
nature. So
Oh my gosh.
it's just it's just different. It's
It's
different
getting out of
times we live in.
control. It's getting out of control. It really is. I just did a story on the raw side of things the other day about these girls, this new lip gloss that these young girls are wearing
Mhm.
that makes it look like it's ejaculation on their lips and they blowing the bubbles. Like, come on, like
Wow, I haven't
this is
seen
just
that, and I'm glad I
this is
haven't.
this is too much.
Hold on.
And that's a sign that I know. I'm like, damn, I must be getting old.
I don't honestly, even when I was younger, like I would never wear something like that when I was younger or now. Men in dresses twerking is crazy. Lord, you can go ahead and bring me home if this is normal now. I mean, look, when I be scrolling through Instagram, sometimes I be seeing men twerk and do all kinds of. I'm like, oh my goodness, like what's happening? It is different. Hold on. God Hustle again says she's in NYC and probably hitting clubs in Greenwich Village. I don't club. I really don't. I didn't when I was younger either. I work, mom, gym, I'm on here, but that's not really my interest. I've never been a clubber at all. But no, even aside from like my personal beliefs, as I have my own. Like my son, he's like, what's wrong with nail polish? What's wrong with Ryan Williams having nail polish? I'm like, absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. Like nail polish for what? Women wear nail polish. Absolutely not. There's no world we should wear nail polish if you're a man. That's just personally how I feel.
Right,
But obviously the times that we live in, the LGBTQIA community is getting bigger and bigger, and the acceptance
right,
margin is becoming closer and closer. Things that you did back in the day that you used to once hide from the public, now you just come out. Like you got men in heels, they got dresses on, they
yes.
carrying purses. Like it's just and people, it's different. People are okay with it. They're not
Well,
shamed anymore.
it's about political capital. You know, I remember in 1996, the Olympics came to Atlanta, and so I was working downtown Decatur selling.
Transgender athletes, oh, it's different
I
too.
I was selling newspapers and things like that, and they had this McDonald's, and I used to go to that McDonald's all the time. But at this particular McDonald's, they hired a gay manager who
Mhm,
was, like a transvestite type person,
mhm,
lifestyle. And within 1 week of them hiring that manager, everybody who worked in there was transgender. It was the first time I had ever seen anything like that. That was in 1996 in
mm.
Atlanta. And I was like, okay, I see that they stick together. They hire each other, they
They
work
do stick
together.
together, that they do.
And so with that being said, they are a more tight knit community than, let's say, the black community. They
That
actually
community is
look out
very
for,
tight.
right.
Mhm.
It's very tight, and they got a lot of money, and they use their money for political capital. They fight for their rights. They fight for laws that they want to be changed.
Yeah, they do.
They fight for opportunity to have TV programming and the commercials, and to have equal rights on that field as far as TV and that type of thing goes. So yeah, they have a lot of influence right now.
Yeah.
They have more influence than, I would say, than a lot of us in the black community, just as being black. And unfortunately, and this is the thing I don't like, every time, a lot of times they like to tie in when you know, black people are fighting for something, we like to come together. They like to tie black people in with the LGBTQ community. And yeah, I don't get it, but I do get it.
I'm gonna read these last two comments, y'all, before we get out of here. Big Dog said Janet Jackson boob came out accidentally. Was it an accident? That was the big controversy. I remember.
It was accidentally.
And her career went downhill. Bad Bunny can come out dressed like Marilyn Monroe and will have a $2 billion tour. Times are different, though. That's the thing. If Bad Bunny performed back in the time when Janet Jackson did the whole thing with Justin Timberlake, probably not. Because what was accepted then is not what's accepted now. So he probably wouldn't have even been up for a conversation to be a part of the Super Bowl halftime show. I don't think, you know. But it's different now. Whether we like it or not, or we agree with it, like it's a whole new world, literally. Gospel Beginning says when women loved a man named Prince, some heterosexual men may have considered wearing polished and looking pretty. Kaja probably requires more background. When it comes to Prince, I fully believe that Prince was not 100% true. I've said this for years. Music wise, artist wise, you know, he was brilliant. I will not take that away from that man at all. But I do not for 1 minute believe he was 100% straight. I just don't.
I'll say this. First, I'll say this about Janet Jackson. She had a breast pop out, you know. Hopefully we don't see any body parts pop out with Bad Bunny and them. Then that might be a problem.
I don't think that's going to be popping out.
Janet Jackson,
oh my God.
She showed nudity on live TV with kids were watching. So I get that. Even though Justin Timberlake popped the boob out, but that's not here nor there. Prince might have, you know, he was a feminine type male, like when he did his music. He was more like a rock and roll star. You know, a lot of rock stars did things a lot differently from the average musician. But when you watch his movies and you watch his videos, he always had 3 to 4 bad women with him. It was like, so for us men, it was like, okay, he seems to be a feminine male, but man, he's always with 3 or 4 bad women. So it's like, you know, it was almost like he was a more not so much a feminine male, but an over sexualized male. It seemed like everything with him was, you know, sex with multiple women, having multiple women. He would even be nude. He would show his butt cheeks on the stage with some of the garments that he wore. But when he was doing all this, he was always around a bunch of women who seemed like they wanted to be with him. So that's why it was confusing. Yeah, it was kind of confusing. It was like, is he gay or is he just over sexualized and you didn't ever know. But in the Super Bowl, he came out there professional, had his garment, he was just clean, had his guitar, he played, and then it started raining. That was the second best Super Bowl performance I ever seen.
Who was the first for you?
Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Michael Jackson came out the helicopter. It was the greatest thing ever.
All right, you guys, we've been on here for a hot minute.
Yeah, it was great.
Get out of here. Every time I always tell Nadia, like, I'm not gonna keep you on long. I always tell him that you guys when I ask him to do it with me. And I feel like he makes a liar out of me. I'll make a liar out of myself because we always go longer than what I expect. But it's cool though. I appreciate you, everybody that tuned in, dropped your comments, that liked, subscribed. I appreciate you guys. This one was fun. So yeah. I haven't been on here for a little while, dealing with some family stuff. So tonight was a nice little getaway, a little escape, from family stuff. So thank
Right.
you for hopping on with me. I know it was last minute that I asked you. I appreciate you
Oh, it's
as
all good.
always.
My pleasure. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Hold on, my gosh doesn't know what? My God doesn't know vanity. I heard of the name. I heard the name. But no, top of my head, like I don't know like that. No. My
Yeah,
mom, my
Vanity.
mom, my mom mentioned the name a few times in
You never
my day.
you never seen The Last Dragon?
The who?
The Last Dragon.
No.
One of the greatest movies ever made. Yeah, Vanity Six. She was ah I can't believe that her name is tipping out my tongue, but
Hmm.
yeah, she was great in that movie. Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, Last Dragon. She was in it.
I'm surprised you actually watched the movie. Okay.
What you mean?
You don't really watch. You usually watch movies or TV shows, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying I was watching that when I was like 5 years old though.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Oh, he put the name in here for you.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about her character name in the movie. It's
Okay.
also it's also the name of a very expensive marijuana product.
Oh, I
That's why I
definitely
was
don't know
like, right,
that.
right, right.
I have never had any kind of marijuana, y'all. I have not.
Yeah, yeah, that's a positive thing.
I have not. I know
That's a
if like
positive
everybody in
thing.
this world has at least once. I just
Yeah,
haven't.
yeah.
I haven't.
It's been a couple years for me. I stopped really smoking a couple years ago,
They
but
lace everything with different things nowadays. You gotta be careful. Like,
yeah. I mean,
mm,
you need to know where it's grown from,
hmm
you know, and so that's the thing. But yeah, it's a positive thing to stay healthy, as healthy as possible. I'm a health nut, so
we know. I'm sure you're a vegan. But yeah, I mean, look, teach his own, right?
right, right.
Big dog. I was in Dallas this past weekend. I had to come in for a homecoming. I brought my son with me. So it was kind of cool. And Big dog said he never smoked. That's good, big dog. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
good
gonna let
thing.
I'm gonna Naughty close this live out. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Just follow, man. Follow on TikTok. Follow on Instagram. It's at One Man Cave, as you can see right there, and you can catch all the content that I have. I have a ton of content. On Mondays, I do the raw side of things. We had Doodoo Brown on the show earlier today.
Dude,
Last
Brown.
week, yeah, last week we had Freeze Love. We had Bro Man the week before that, and we got a lot of
Who
guests
love?
coming.
Who's
Freeze Love. We
who's
had
that?
him on the show. He's a comedian.
Oh, okay.
He's been on a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows, stand up.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got a lot of comedians. We have every now and then we have a sexologist come through, a
Oh
cannabis
my.
coach. Yeah, we have young guys we try to mentor, in the streets. Yeah, I mean we got a lot of stuff going on the show. Like
I
you like you
see.
said, yeah, but we do a lot of it can be ratchet sometimes, but there's a lot of education behind it. Everything is
Ratchet
strategic.
education.
Yeah, it's strategic, so there's a lot of motivation, just a lot of things in there. It's a very interesting show. So I encourage people to go check it out, for their own selves. So yeah, make sure you just follow One Man Cave. And I appreciate the opportunity to come on with you and talk sports. I like that.
You guys, NBA starts today.
Yes, it's my
Super
season.
excited.
Yeah, my season.
Yes. Warriors, let's go. Let's
I
freaking
mean, come
go.
on now. We didn't talk about this college.
Right. Look, I'm not gonna
I'm trying.
don't start with your negativity, okay?
No, I'm trying to help you out. I'm
I
trying to
don't, you
save.
don't
I'm
need your
trying to
help. We
save you
good.
from being stressed out when you don't need to be.
I won't be stressed because we got
Okay.
30, we got Jimmy, We have Draymond and his crazy
They're
behind.
all over 35.
That's not all we have. Thank you. We
Okay.
have Pods. We got Big Mo back. That's Moses Moody, if y'all know who I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
we know what you're talking about.
I
He's
love me
average.
some GP2. He's back. I believe they're
Come
gonna get
on,
set
man.
back next season. So we're gonna have a pretty decent bench. All right, y'all. Don't look. I'm telling y'all, we got old man Horford. Okay, like I know he's older, but he's usually healthy for the most part, and he's gonna bring some experience. All right, you guys, we're gonna be all right. I'm telling you that right now.
I got 2 words for you. Play in.
Playoffs. I know. Playoffs. NBA finals. I know. I know what you were gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. Hold on. You know what, God so begins. You've been judging me pretty much this whole episode. Kaja, you're in New York and haven't seen Last Dragon. Damn shame. I feel judged and misunderstood.
That's Quincy Jones. You know, Quincy Jones did that movie.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, it's just a classic, and it's my favorite
Titanic
movie.
is a classic.
No, this movie is a classic. It's Black excellence at the core of Black excellence. The message in the movie is A1. I'm glad I watched a lot growing up because I didn't think about the message, but as I grew older, it's about believing in yourself. You have everything that you need inside of you. You just got to pull it out.
True.
And
I agree with that.
pause. So yeah, man. This is. You remember when Busta Rhymes? You from New York? Busta Rhymes is from that area, I would reckon. And he did a video where he played this character called Show Enough.
What was the song?
Dude, I don't know. He had a lot of crazy songs.
He did, yeah.
Tempo, but yeah, the Show Enough character comes from The Last Dragon. Great movie. You should definitely check it out.
Look, I haven't watched that. I haven't seen Don't Be a Menace to Society While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. I refuse to watch it. I'm just not gonna watch that. There's just a lot. I have never seen any Friday.
Don't drink your what? You never seen Friday?
Not one. Not
one?
No.
Oh my gosh.
You guys, I have not. I haven't seen White Chicks. No, like I'm very specific about what I watch. You guys, like I like as an actress, I like intelligent writing. You know, I like great acting, great directing, cinematography. Like it's a real thing for me. So I don't just watch any old thing because it's a Black classic. So
no, Friday. What they become classics because they're Black.
I never saw Good Burger either.
Okay, you can skip Good Burger. I give you don't have to waste your time on Good Burger. Even though I watched it, it was okay, but it's not like great writing. It's silly. Friday is great writing. It's classic. It's Friday 1, Friday 2 is just hilarious.
I saw Boys in the Hood. I saw Cooley High.
I'm saying, okay, you saw Boys in the Hood, you saw Cooley High, but you didn't see Don't Drink Your Juice.
Why didn't you see that? I did watch Juice though with Tupac.
Right, so you watch Juice, so yeah, why Don't Drink Your Juice in the Hood?
No, I think I'll pass.
Right, Don't Be a Menace to Society while drinking your juice in the hood. Hilarious. Just the title alone. Yeah.
If I want a good laugh, I'm gonna go put on Rush Hour or Bad Boys 2.
So you probably never seen Pootie Tang.
No, I have not.
Okay, that's Chris Rock.
I never saw. I saw New Jack City.
CB4.
Who?
CB4.
What about it? From Rush Hour.
No, I'm saying CB4. You seen the movie CB4?
No, I don't know what that is. I never even heard of that. I never saw Belly either. Big Dog.
Belly?
I never saw it.
Okay, man. All right, man. I see what's going on here. I see what's going on here.
I haven't. I have not. I'm sorry, you guys. I haven't. So don't take my black card away. You know.
You keep your black card. But man,
I'm a Lord of the Rings.
But your hood card. But you said you went to school in Dallas though, so
I went to high school in Dallas. Yeah,
right.
I moved when I was 13. I came back when I was 17. So yeah.
Okay, so that's.
See, even Big Dog said he never saw CB4.
Oh man, come on, Big Dog. Come on, Big Dog. You gotta go watch. You gotta go watch CB4 if you'd have seen all the other stuff. Come on, Big Dog.
What is CB4?
That's Chris Rock when he played like he played. It was almost like they were doing the story of NWA. And Chris
Okay.
Rock played like the Easy E character with the Jerry Curl. Oh man, great movie.
Okay.
They were trying to get a record deal. Yeah, it was real funny. Classic. These are hood classics, man.
Wait, did you say Loving Basketball is trash? Is that what you're trying to say, Big Dog?
Oh, I love basketball was great.
I know that by heart. Now,
See
Big
that
Dog, we
seemed like more
usually
up your
here.
alley.
But we not. But what? Am I reading that correctly? Because that's awesome. It's phenomenal. I love it. It's a classic. Baby Boy. What? I love Baby Boy. Stop playing with
See,
it.
I knew this was down your lane. You was gonna be loving basketball, baby boy.
Taraji P. Henson went in that film. I love it.
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour was
Yeah,
hilarious. Bad Boys 2
right,
was hilarious.
right. Bad
Hilarious.
Boys. Bad Boys 1 and 2.
Part 2,
Hilarious. You
specifically.
didn't see one?
I did, but I think part 2
Okay.
to me is funnier.
Yeah, part 2 it might be a little bit funny. Yeah. See, I see what you are like the mainstream movies.
I'm
with
like
the
a Harry
black
Potter,
characters.
Lord of the Rings,
Right,
Rings of Power. I love the
right.
show Power, by the way. What else? I love my Law and Orders. I love my FBI shows. I love my doctor shows.
Right.
I like documentaries. I like things that are, informative, but you guys, yeah.
I got
Yeah.
you.
I can't do the don't be a menace to society while drinking your juice in the hood. And
Oh
I've never seen an
man.
episode of In Living Color. I haven't.
But you see all the episodes of Martin.
I have. I know about heart too for the most part. I have.
The Cosby Show, a different world.
I've seen the Cosby Show different world. My mom used to watch that. Living
Okay.
Single. It's Law and Order. SVU, the greatest show ever. It's up there. It's up there, big dog. It's up there. It really is. Like, oh man, nothing beats a rain day where you got good food and Law and Order reruns on USA. Like, if you have nothing else to do.
You seen Do the Right Thing.
I have not.
She do the right thing. She live in New York. What the
I
hell going
have
on here?
not. That's Spike Lee's "I Do the Right Thing," right? Right, Spike Lee?
Yes.
Yeah. I saw Malcolm X. Excellent movie. Excellent.
Jungle Fever.
No.
Mo Better Blues.
Ozark was amazing, big dog. See, now we here. You never watched Power. I don't understand why. Because Power got so many different spinoffs. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I didn't watch Power either.
You never watched it? No
Nah, I
episode?
didn't
Like the
watch
spinoffs, nothing?
Nah, I didn't watch Power. I was watching Breaking Bad. I know you saw that.
No, I saw maybe like one episode or two.
Oh, that's the
So, like,
best show that they
yeah.
ever made. After
But
that, I was
Ozark
like, I
is
don't need to.
amazing.
Okay.
Look at you. So you don't know Ozark, do you? So you know about all the black
I
shows
know
that we do?
I know of Ozark. I just ain't got time to be watching them folk like that all the time. But like I said, I watched Breaking Bad. The white dude was selling meth.
First off, a gospel beginning. She's from Plano, Irvin, or the old Arlington. Definitely not that Carter Kimball, other Millie in those school days. I went to Skyline High School, and we did very much play Carter and Kimball. Thank you very much. Okay, never even know Plano or Irving or Arlington schools. Thank you very much. I don't like this judgment I'm feeling in here, so I'm gonna get off of here for the night.
Right.
And I'm gonna get back to
Yeah,
my
I had thought you were from Brooklyn at first.
I am from Brooklyn.
But I guess I was wrong. You from like a neighborhood right outside of Brooklyn or somewhere?
I am from Crown Heights in Brooklyn. Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
Born and raised. And then I moved when I was 13 to Dallas. Went to Skyline. Came back when I was 17. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, y'all. Enough judging Kaja and her movie choices for the night. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in. See you all next time. Thank you again. I appreciate you. Nadi, have a wonderful, wonderful night, you guys. Be safe and productive this week.
All right, big dog. No, y'all and Kaja. Appreciate it. See you later.
Bye.